Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Good
everyone.
sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Wow.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, before our friends join us, we have 5 minutes. Clarification or any doubts? And so far, what we have discussed.
Hello, sir. This is Venkatesh here.
Yeah, Mr. Venkatesh, tell me.
Sir, one query regarding this LLP and partnership firm. So we were just approached on CA to register for the partnership firm and this. So we just, as you told, that LLP is a good option. So we just told them that we would like to go for an LLP and this. So just wanted to, because he also didn't give us a clear idea what's the difference between LLP and the partnership. So just wanted to know what's the, because you said that the partners are liable only for the limit what they have invested or something like that, right? So just wanted to have a clarity on that. So could you please
Are
help
you
me?
going for a partnership or proprietor?
It's a partnership firm. So I and my friend would be doing it.
Not to worry, because if you go for partnership, it is simple.
Mm-hmm.
They are going for LLP, compliances are more.
Okay.
Advice to go for partnership, not a problem.
Okay.
Okay. Not to make complicated.
Okay. No, but what's the difference, sir, that you
Liability is
said?
the difference. Liability is the difference.
Okay.
And you have the
So
more.
only that if the advantage is that if one partner does any deferred in payments or something, so the other partner is not liable. Only that's the only advantage, or is there any other?
It is a better value than ordinary partnership.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. So its partnership is fine, right? So there's not an issue. Okay. Thank you so much.
Not to go in a negative way.
Okay. Yeah. No, true. I just wanted to check because you told, so we just thought we'll check with the CA, and that is what, because he was also not able to explain it that much, so we thought I'll check with you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So one query I have.
Yeah, Mohit.
Yeah, sir, can my e-commerce website act as an export website as well?
It can be.
I can use that.
Yeah, yeah.
So how what is the
See, technically you can do, but the thing is, if you can separate it, it will be better. Within the same domain, you can go for domain.
okay?
You can make a subdomain, and exporters you will come to that web page, and e-commerce anyway are doing it. You can create a subdomain from the same. You can do that.
Okay. So right now it is by the extension .in. So will it be okay, or I have to convert it to .com?
Not necessarily, because sometimes it's not available.
Yes.
Even if you wish, sometimes it is not available. Either you have to go for a biz or .in or .co.in, something like this.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Sankirtan here.
Yes, Sankirtan.
Yeah, sir. Soap nut powder comes under in which category, sir?
Which one?
Soap nut powder. We call it as shigekai pudi powder, shigekai powder. Which it will comes under which FMCG or where, sir? It comes in spices.
Will not comes under spices. Again, it's in the forest, it falls under main category forest produce, but even forest
Yeah.
also it comes under, I have to check it up.
Yeah, sir. It's a huge demand right now.
Could you
I
check
seen
it?
in
Have you done research on that about number?
I checked it, sir.
Ah.
I had the HSN number also.
Ah.
It's a huge demand right now. What I've seen in the statistics,
Yes.
it's exporting all over the world.
Ah.
And our locality is in Tumkur, Karnataka and Andhra border.
Ah.
We have an APMC yard for that one also.
Right.
That's why I'm asking you, sir.
Coconut is a very high demand product. Normally, our people know.
No, sir. It's a soap nut, sir. I'm asking for soap nut, shigekai powder. We use as an
Coconut is different. Coconut
coconut is different. Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Rita bolte na. That will
Ha,
be
sir.
shape. That will be in round shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are talking about the round shape, or it is like a tamarind wala?
Tamarind wala, sir.
Tamarind wala. Okay.
Yeah.
Coconut means that is different. This is different. You can see here. Coconut powder is different, and images I'll show you. Image. These are the.
Yeah, sir. This one only, sir. This one only.
Not secret.
Yeah.
This is actually natural cleaner for hair.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Used to the all cleaning purposes.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Even dry clean also they use. Even for silk, wool.
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yeah, sir.
You can find the HS code also. Powder also going. This as it is. This is also going.
Powder is going. Yeah, sir.
Even crushed like this it goes.
Yeah, sir.
Crushed also. Even the seed which is coming, that is also having a.
Yeah, sir. It comes under forestry department, na, sir?
Yeah. It is a forest.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Good market for this.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Right, sir.
Any other?
Hello, sir. Myself Vikas.
Vikas ji?
Yeah, sir. Actually, we have one product, GI corrugated roofing sheets.
Okay.
It's used in labor quarters, and it's like corrugated roofing sheets.
Right.
So we manufacture here. Yeah, we manufacture here in Kompally. The thing is, the procuring raw material itself, sometime from the major steel industries in Hyderabad, from India, it's getting difficult from past 3 to 4 years. So we thought that we're going to import the corrugated roofing sheet itself from China. Why? Because they are the mass producer of that sheets.
Right. Okay.
But the thing is, I just want to know if anything high tax or some duties are derived from the Indian government on this. How to check that one, sir?
What is it? Corrugated GI sheet?
Yeah, GI corrugated roofing sheet.
Corrugated roofing sheet. Okay.
HSN code is, I think, 7216.
Code we can see. This is what you are talking?
Yes, sir. This one. Corrugated roofing sheet. Okay. This one. Second one. Down.
Okay. Note down the code. I will talk to you later. When we are planning the import duties, I'll be showing the data today. We'll be discussing about the HS code. What is the HS code it is giving? Just note down 7210.
Yeah, I know, sir. 7210 4900.
4900, no? Yeah, that I'll show the duty. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Discussing those topics today. Acha, tell me.
Yes, sir.
Based on yesterday inputs, anybody tried for sourcing or contacting someone?
No, sir, not yet.
Don't think that okay, मेरे पास video भी है, material भी है, बाद में देखेंगे.
Yes, yes. If you put in practice only, then it will be.
बाद में नहीं आने वाला है. Making some practice on the same day or next day, you will remember the things.
Nice, sir. Vinod here, sir. I tried to contact one guy. I got on LinkedIn.
Very good.
So he is, he's a purchase manager for a food company.
Very good.
So they were buying this plastic disposables.
Okay.
So I got he asked me for quotation also. Right now I'm trying to get.
Good, Vinod. Good development. Likewise, have you approached for any of your friends or relatives or any known people who are staying abroad? Just a message is enough on your Facebook.
Right, sir.
On your Facebook, hi, I wanted to do something on import export. Anybody interested in this line, please ping me.
Yes, I did, sir.
Very good. Is this Suresh?
Yes, sir. I contacted my very old friend after 15 years.
Oh.
Who is in the UK. I told about all my things, herbals, vegetables, fruits, all those things.
Very good.
So he is also searching for the same guy. He is in IT actually. He wanted to come out of that and wants to start a business.
Oh.
So we had a 2 hours talk today.
Very good, very good. This is how it happens.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have this is Ajay here.
Ajay, yeah, please.
Yeah, I have contacted my brother-in-law who is in Australia.
Very good.
And fortunately, even though he's in IT, but fortunately he's in a cargo business.
Okay.
Okay, and even my sister is also in a cargo business where they will be taking all the clearance and all, she's into that. I think in admin of that area.
Okay.
So just to share the interest, directly I have not got into the business, but I just shared them what products which I am into are going to Australia and Europe. The photos also I have exchanged with them.
Very good.
And I also got to know that the retail bags, which we call it as a BOPP bags here. We make it for rice bags, everything we'll be making here. And nowadays, slowly it is converting into retail also after this plastic ban and all. This is reusable and recyclable bags, since it is kind of a thing. Those bags photos also I have shared with him. And he told me in the many retail shops, he will be seeing all these bags, and usually they will be selling it in the stores. So I think it's a positive sense actually, if at all something. And in the meanwhile, I wanted to get clarification. Somebody is there in different countries. We also told that it is source of getting the clients. Among them, one relative or friend is also there. Well, that is one of the methodology.
Yeah.
But can you elaborate how to use them, or how to make them if they are interested also, we need to guide them how to go about.
Just example.
Yeah.
You may be having 10-15 friends in one country, for example. Okay.
Yes.
But everybody may not have the interest.
Correct.
The person who immediately responded to you, they are having the zeal. He is only the right person to follow up. Because though we are thinking they are well settled and they are into IT, those people also looking for some opportunity.
Sure, sir. Yeah, that is there.
Other than their IT they wanted to do. If you are getting those kind of people, there are two ways we can work.
Yeah.
Number one, you can ask them what are the products you see there and what is that you feel that we can supply from here. They know both the sides.
Correct.
Because they are going to the market, they are seeing the product, they purchase those products. And if they are comfortable, they can also talk to the concerned people in the departments.
That area. Okay, region. Okay.
In the counter, they will not be telling. Suppose if you go to more and ask them who is the purchaser, they will not be knowing it.
Yeah.
You have to do the
back. We need to find out.
Back office.
We need to find out and give them the lead. Yeah.
Who is the back office? Who is the main purchase office? And purchase also, there are so many people in the purchases. F&B अलग करेगा, stationery अलग करेगा, crockery अलग करेगा, garments अलग करेगा, RMG. All these people.
Correct. Division wise, we need to. Yeah.
They have to find the section wise. That is, if they go and talk to them, they will say, okay, we are already importing. If you have anything, please let us know, because they also want something new.
Okay. Since they are localite of that country, it may be easy also, right? If it may be little easier.
It is easy for them to convince. Yes,
Convince
my friend is already manufacturing, already supplying to various countries. I can get the samples. I'll show you. Then you will say, okay, get the sample. From there it starts. This is one thing. The second way, from here to that, whatever your strength. Yeah, मैं ये कर सकता हूँ 1 2 3 4 5. Can you see the potential there? आपका what is your strength? क्या क्या आइटम आप फोकस कर रहे हो? उसके हिसाब से आप बताइए. Let him do some groundwork.
Okay.
He will come back. Okay, ये वाला में out of 4 5 में वो 1 2 तो शुरू हो जाएगा आपका.
Correct.
ऐसा भी हो सकता है.
Got it.
Both ways it will work.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Jiju Shukmar.
Thank you.
You raise your hand. Jiju, where are you?
Good evening, sir. Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I am Ayush.
आयुष बोलिए.
Yes, sir. सर मुझे ये पूछना था सर, मेरे को कंफ्यूजन था प्रोडक्ट के लिए सर. जैसे सर आई वांट सच अ प्रोडक्ट दैट I can manufacture here in Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh, and I can sell B2B here, like in India, and also I can export it outside India. So I have seen various products, but I can't like get onto one product. Like this product will be good for me. So that's the confusion for me. Like I am new to this thing, so I'm confused about the products. Like there are so many.
आपने पहले क्या बोला था? आप मैन्युफैक्चर करके बाद में मार्केटिंग करेंगे.
Yes, सर मैं चाहता हूँ कि मैं पहले मैन्युफैक्चर करके प्रोडक्ट यहाँ पे B2B बेचूं, बिजनेस टू बिजनेस, और फिर उसको साथ ही साथ फिर एक्सपोर्ट भी करना चाहता हूँ सर.
That is good idea, but what is the product?
Sir, that's what I am confused about, sir. So there are so many, and I can't like finalize the one that I should focus on this product. Like that's my strength. I don't know it actually.
See, I give a small advice. Nowadays, technology is changing, trends are changing, so many developments are happening.
Yes, sir.
Hoping that you are starting one company, and आपसे बढ़िया वाला दूसरा आ जाता है. एक
Yes, sir. That's true.
फिर अपना क्या हाल होगा? हाँ, तो मेरा सजेशन क्या है? Whatever you are thinking, try to start with the trading. Don't jump into manufacturing without knowing any market.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है? Start working on the market से उठा के बेचने के लिए कोशिश करो.
Okay, sir.
Try to do this 5 6 months or 1 year or 2 years.
Okay, sir.
Once you are established in that line, slowly अपना फैक्ट्री शुरू करो, अपना प्रोडक्शन शुरू करके slowly आपका जोड़ते जाओ.
Okay, sir.
This is the right strategy. नहीं तो क्या होता है, फैक्ट्री बना दिया, फिर बाद में सब कुछ कर दिया, आपका you may not be able to compete with the present already running players. Plus, moreover, you don't know the market first thing. You have to do, if you are going for a market, this establishment, starting a company, we have to do the very big groundwork.
Yes, sir.
इसमें क्या है, if you are taking one product from someone and it is only आपका कुछ नहीं लगता इसमें, ऑर्डर आए तो उससे खरीदेंगे, नहीं तो छोड़ेंगे आप. बट अभी फैक्ट्री लगा दिया, फैक्ट्री चलना पड़ेगा ना.
Yes, sir.
Your material has to go out.
Yes, sir.
And also you have to be competitive in the market.
Yes, sir.
You have to do a big struggle to stand in the market.
Yes, sir.
As a I don't discourage, but if you have the plans, you can go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Okay. Thank you.
इसके लिए आपका जो भी आप करना चाहते हो उसमें test the waters with other products.
Then after that, I can manufacture. Yes, sir. That. Sir, I have one more question, sir. Sir, from a trader, I have bought a product, and I want that product to be certified, but that trader is not giving me the product that is ISO certified, kind of a thing. So how can I make it certified? And
what is that product? Product के बारे में बात करो पहले.
Jaggery I'm buying, sir. So like Jaggery I'm buying.
There is no ISO certified. Wrong impression. There is no such ISO certified. ISO
Okay.
is not for the product.
So like, okay. So how can I make the quality assured to the customers, like to attract customers, like this is the best quality and this is like.
That is what you have to ask them. What is the quality you are going to give me if I get an order? Test that for the parameters. You give the same to your client. अभी
Okay,
for
sir.
example चावल है, चावल तो हम नहीं कर सकते कुछ भी. You cannot
Yes, sir.
manufacture according to the buyer requirement. What
Yes,
he will
sir.
ask you is send me the test report.
Okay, sir.
है ना? टेस्ट
Yeah.
देखने के बाद वो हिसाब अपने हिसाब से देखेगा वो प्रोटीन कितना परसेंटेज है, ब्रोकन कितना परसेंटेज है, इसमें मॉइस्चर मेन थिंग इज मॉइस्चर.
Okay, sir.
अभी नया चावल में you wanted to test what is the moisture. If you are sending that it may be 18 to 20% moisture ही हो जाता है. You don't want to pay for
Yes,
moisture.
sir.
So what is the general varieties? It goes under 10 to 12% of moisture. So they will ask you to send the test report. If, for example, whatever the parameter they are looking, 10 to 12 का आपका moisture rate आ जाता है, then they will place an order with those parameters back to you. Okay, जो आपने parameter दिया, उसी parameter के ऊपर वो उल्टा same he will put it in the purchase order. He will ask you, okay, I want to place the order for the following product. Whatever quality specifications you are given, they will place it and they will say, मुझे इतना quantity चाहिए, मुझे यहाँ तक चाहिए, दुबई तक चाहिए. Give me what is your rate. I'll pay by LC or advance or whatever. That where you can put your condition while replying.
Yes, sir.
That's my point. So as a trader, you are right. You cannot make a quantity control. But what we do normally, we put all the responsibility on the supplier head.
Yes, sir.
Supplier has to meet our requirement.
Yeah, sir.
As a trader, we will not be able to do that. Okay?
Yes,
okay.
Sir. Thanks, sir.
Unnat has raised your hand. Unnat.
हेलो सर, थैंक यू फॉर दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी. सर मैं आजकल रिसर्च कर रहा हूँ ड्राइड फ्रूट्स पे. और तो बट डिहाइड्रेटेड जो ये इनकी बाइफर्केशन है वेबसाइट पे नहीं है कुछ भी कि डिहाइड्रेटेड स्ट्रॉबेरी, डिहाइड्रेटेड पाइनएप्पल, उसको एक ही कैटेगरी में डाल दिया गया है, डिहाइड्रेटेड या ड्राइड. उसको कुछ सर्च करने का तरीका है कि सेपरेटली हम उसको ढूंढ पाए कि कौन से फ्रूट की पर्टिकुलर बात हो रही है.
क्योंकि डेटा में
That's my question.
आप डेटा परचेज करेगा तो उसमें पता चलेगा. नंबर तो एक ही होता है सबका. ओके, उसमें क्या होता है जब जैसे इनवॉइस देखते हो उसमें तो स्ट्रॉबेरी के स्ट्रॉबेरी लिखा हुआ है ना.
यस.
तो ऐसा कुछ बाइफर्केशन मिल सकता है बिकॉज वेयर एवर देयर इज ए कॉमन कोड है सबके लिए. इसमें दिस ओनली द वे. अदरवाइज
ओके. बट ओवरऑल जो कॉन्टिनेंट स्पेसिफिक इसमें कुछ बाइफरकेट किया जा सकता है कि यूरोप में ज्यादा डिमांड है या ऑस्ट्रेलिया या यूएस में
कर सकते हो.
ओके जी सर. और ओवरऑल इसमें आपका क्या ओपिनियन है डिहाइड्रेटेड फ्रूट्स का?
डिहाइड्रेटेड इज अ वेरी गुड प्रोडक्ट. गुड डिमांड.
ओके.
Even now our banana also falling under the same category.
Okay.
Banana also going dehydrated and dried. It has fallen under dry fruit. Earlier it was not dry fruit. Corona आने के बाद इंडिया वाले ने ड्राई फ्रूट बना दिया उसको. ऑलरेडी है, बाहर भी है, but we are not used to that.
Okay. So one last question. जब भी फ्रूट्स की सप्लाई की बात होती है या जो भी पेरिशेबल आइटम्स हैं फॉर एग्जांपल, तो उसमें कोई ऐसी बाइफर्केशन करनी पड़ती है कि भाई ऑर्गेनिक ही होनी चाहिए, लेट्स से अगर यूरोप में भेज रहे हैं तो, या वो कि कितना केमिकल उसमें हम डाल सकते हैं, वो कैसे जज करते हैं?
दिखाएंगे आपको. We will be on Monday first session.
Okay.
There is a site, FIO का साइट है, उसके अंदर फ्रूट्स और वेजिटेबल का सैनिटरी एंड फाइटोसैनिटरी मेजर्स, मतलब उस कंट्री में किस लेवल तक अलाउबल है. क्योंकि इंडिया एंड अपना मिडिल ईस्ट का सारे इंडिया जैसा ही है, जो भी भेजो आप वो लोग खा लेंगे, हम हमारा जैसा ही है. We are not going to test that. But if you talk about Europe or US or even Australia,
Yes.
stringent norms than India.
Yes.
So that is where you also sometimes see that these pesticides are more and lot stands got rejected, this and that.
Yes.
So that is the reason if we are targeting that way, we should also be careful about the parameters.
Yep. जी बिल्कुल.
Tested first.
Yes. Okay.
Give the test report.
Okay.
We'll close the
Thank you,
session.
sir. Thank you.
We'll close the session. If anything, I'll take it next in general. See, as per schedule, our program was to be a banker in this session. He'll be joining after the break. Okay. So this session, I'll be talking about the international commercial terms. Till yesterday, what we have discussed about various sources, even finding their contacts, finding their mail IDs, and different ways we have discussed about 20 plus sources we have discussed. So based on that, you might be starting your efforts by sending a mail or posting your listing in various websites. Okay, contacting someone or getting some information from embassies or various other sources. So ultimately, what you do, you send some introduction. And we are so and so. We are the suppliers of this. So you will make your own introduction that you want to supply this product. One fine morning, you may see the one response. Can you give me the price? Please give me your quote, FOB. What is your price? And also send the sample. Some people will ask the sample. Some people first they test with the price. Give me your quotation. So in this, price is very important. When people asking a quotation, price is very, very important. How do you work on the price? And the terminology also, you should understand different languages they speak, different wordings, not English, same language, but the business language, they will ask you, can you give me CAF? Can you give me FOB? Can you give me DDP? So what is this? What are these terminologies? We will discuss now. These are called international commercial terms. Can you see the blue screen? Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
So these terminologies are evolved right from 1936. We are following this terminology. These are all prepared by ICC, International Chamber of Commerce, Geneva. The first set was published in 1936. And after that, now for the last 4 decades, every 10 years, these terms are getting revised. Latest versions, small amendments, they are doing it. The last amendment happened was 2020 January is the latest version has come into force. Earlier, 2010 maybe 10 to 20, 2010 to 2020 तक there were 11 terms. उससे पहले 13 था. 2010 में it has become 11. The same has been carried forward with a little modification. So that doesn't make effect for new people. So these are the 11 terminologies. I'll be showing it. Why we need to follow this? It gives the direction for us. What is the response of the buyer? What is the response of the seller is well defined in that regulations. Very important is who has to pay for what? कौन कहाँ तक पे करना है? किसका responsibility कहाँ तक है? Because this is very, very important to give the quotation. You have to give the quote. And you cannot imagine, okay, मेरा buyer आके मेरा घर से ले जाएगा. And he cannot think, okay, my supplier will give the supply up to my godown. There are various terminologies are given. And what is the scope of this? What is the scope of this terminology? This terminology applies only for the physical goods, not for the software. It is limited to the both the parties related to the transport terminology. This is in a simple way. I will make you understand. From supplier godown to buyer godown, there are stages. What are the different stages? The numbering is given. So this term, this international commercial term doesn't interfere with your quality, your payments, with any other things. It is only the transportation terminology only. I'll tell you example. Like one. Yeah, sorry. See, I'll tell you example. Buyer will be asking you, what he will say, I want this item. This is my specifications. This is how my packing should be. And I want a FOP Mumbai. My payment will going to be the LC. We will discuss about LC. Please give your quotation. So what he has done, he has given all the requirements, including packing. Quality also he has given. What is asking, my packing also should be whatever packing he wants. The packing also will define. With that packing, how you are going to, what is the price of your material till it reaches to the Mumbai. Mumbai mein ship mein chadane tak, FOB means, I'll give the clarity. What is the price? So we are talking about we have to add the transportation elements only in this. That is how it is confined to only the transportation terminology. Now, next. What are these terms actually? You can see here, X works. There are 4 categories. 1, 2, 3. C is 3. This is 4th. 4 categories. Let us start with X works. Whenever you go to showroom to purchase a vehicle, what is the price they are quoting?
X showroom. X showroom price.
X showroom. Yeah. What is the exact meaning of X showroom?
X showroom without any taxes or.
No, at the manufacturer place, whatever is the price. Got it.
Sorry.
From the factory. From the factory, sir.
The road tax is not included.
Road tax is not included of the region.
The factory price, sir.
It's a cost price.
Factory price.
It is the price at which the showroom, it has charged the dealer to get the car to the showroom.
Showroom price does not
will have very good clarity.
RTO.
It cannot be the factory price, na. From factory, say you have to bring it to your showroom.
It does not include the other charges, sir.
It's
like
without including any charge. What he's got it for, like factory plus transport up to his
and his margin.
Yes. See, like this. Yeah, you are nearer, but not having a clarity. As you said, it is right. Without road tax, that is okay. But in a simple way, at that price, he is selling in his place. Whatever the model, they will have the different prices. Are you clear? जो भी आपने buyer मांगा है आपको, उस हिसाब से पैक करके रेडी रखो. We are telling that like X showroom. Okay, आपने जिस तरह का मांगा, हमने पैक करके by cartoons are ready. So this is going to be my price if it is X works. Are you clear?
X factory.
Clear, sir. Clear.
It can be X works. It can be X factory, X mill, even X mines. कभी-कभी क्या होता है? If it is a mining thing, they dig the things and they bring it pour at one place.
Explore.
From that place they have to वहाँ से माल उठाएगा. Okay. It can be X Hyderabad or X Chennai or X Mumbai also. It doesn't whether it may be this corner or that corner of Mumbai. He will say, hello?
Sir, is it a source price?
Yeah, that is what is not source price. Please understand. At that price you are selling in your place, including your profit. Okay. Source price is different. For example, your source is something and you are keeping in your godown. You are sourced from 100 rupees, but you want to sell it at 110 rupees in your godown. This is how X works. Are you clear?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Because at what price you are selling in your place?
Sale price.
sale price in your godown. X works, X showroom का price क्या दे रहा है? वो sale price ही दे रहा है ना, including his profit and whatever the model. जो भी model होगा, but he's talking about X price. So it can be these are the terminologies. But under this already has defined everything. अभी शोरूम वाला क्या बताएगा? ये मॉडल का ये है सर, ये मॉडल का ये है, ये मॉडल का ये प्राइस है. मॉडल इज डिफाइंड, prices may differ. The same way, according to quality, what your buyer has asked, we are going to give the price. So in this case, if you are a trader, I will tell you the same thing. What sourcing price? For example, you have sourced the material for 100 rupees, and you are adding 15 or 20% or 10%. Then in case if you are getting the material and you are making a sorting and packing everything yourself, then you may get it at 80 or 90 rupees because you are doing your own sorting. Or if you want a sorted one, already sorted, assorted one, you are getting a cream from the supplier. Imagine 100 rupees ka apna maal la rahe ho, then keeping in your godown, you will say my X godown price is 110 rupees. Clear? In this case, what is the response of the buyer? What is the response of seller? Seller responsibility is to keep the goods ready for pickup by buyer. Buyer will come and pick up the material from our place. Buyer का क्या responsibility है? Buyer has to come with a truck, come with a labor. Come with a labor. We need not even load the material. We need not even load the material. Truck भी लाएगा, material उठा के ले जाएगा. That is what we are doing from the showroom. शोरूम से गाड़ी उठा के लेके आते हैं ना हम लोग. Okay, some people they say okay गाड़ी ड्राइवर से भेज दो मेरा घर तक, पहली बार ले रहा हूँ. That is different thing. I hope it is clear now. Now next thing. The second one is FCA. FCA में क्या होता है? We have to do even the custom clearance. अभी हमारा गोडाउन से ट्रक में लोड करके we have to take to the customs. कस्टम क्लियरेंस करा के छोड़ने तक हमारा सेलर का रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी रहता है इसमें. He will ask, give me FCA. ये बहुत कम लोग मांगते हैं आपसे. सॉरी FCA में फ्री अलॉन्ग साइड शिप. फर्स्ट थिंग, फ्री अलॉन्ग साइड शिप में कस्टम क्लियरेंस करा के यू हैव टू टेक द गुड्स टिल द शिप. शिप का बाजू में द नेम डिफाइंस देयर अलॉन्ग साइड द शिप. शिप का बाजू में तक ले जाके आप छोड़ेंगे. फ्री अलॉन्ग साइड शिप में. फ्री कैरियर में FCA में वो गाड़ी भेजेगा तो लोड कर देंगे. एक्स वर्क्स में buyer is coming with truck and is picking up. FCA में he sends the truck and we are loading it. And FAS में we are taking it to the customs. Custom clear करा के you are taking the goods till the ship. Normally FCA and FAS नहीं आते आपको. Only in bulk deals when it comes. Under the F में you normally 95% comes only FOB, and I advise only FOB to do. That is better for you. FOB means we have to transport your goods from your godown to till wherever there is a container yard. वहां तक ले जाके unload करो. Then you have to hire a container. That also will be loaded under the supervision of customs. Customs also वहाँ से clear हो जाएगा. Then they will be loading in the container. Then container will travel from that particular yard to till the ship. Ship में चढ़ाने तक अपना responsibility है. So all the expenses are coming in our head. Right from loading on our truck, go down say, you have to transport, for example, up to Mumbai jana hai. You are sending up to Mumbai or wherever there is a dry port. Let me make it clear, dry port. What is dry port? Wherever there is no sea, government has made a provision for transporting the goods through rail, and custom clearance will be done in the same place. For example, Hyderabad. Hyderabad, we don't have the port. Bangalore, Delhi, many places, export center, they don't have the seaport. Even then, that is why government has created a inland container depots. They made a provision of custom clearance in the place by providing a container also. All the custom formalities will be done in that land location. And once it is cleared by customs, the container will be put on trial. You might be seeing sometimes only containers will be traveling, full train. Those containers are custom cleared in that particular place, wherever. These have a direct lines into the port. कहीं नहीं रुकता है. पोर्ट के अंदर चला जाएगा. पोर्ट में उतारने के बाद then that will go to the respective ship. That is the provision government of India has done for the easy movement of the goods. If you are sending by truck directly to Mumbai, that will be costly. But when you are traveling this through your rail movement, they will be charging in a railway rate is entirely, it will be 1/3 of what you are sending by truck. Even cheaper, very cheaper than sending by truck. But you need to give in it advance. It may take 5 to 6 days also sometimes. So that planning has to be done accordingly. Free on board may, our responsibility is till our container is boarded on the, this is a container for example, container has to be reached on the ship. Are you clear?
Sir, in case of it is in a dry port, you are saying, then when we load it in Hyderabad, then we should take care up to the XYZ port, we say Vizag. Up to that place, we have to take care.
You need not. It is already running process.
But how do this, all other the paperworks like
everything will be clear here itself.
Hyderabad itself.
All the process will be done here. Clearance will be done. And your shipment will be moved on the rail. If you go to the Mumbai mein unload karega, then that will go to the ship. After loading on the ship only, you will be getting a BL.
Okay.
Bill of lading will be issued by the shipper.
Okay.
Ship में चढ़ने के बाद हमें मिलता है आप में.
Sir, I have a question.
5 दिन लगता है.
Okay.
You need not follow. For example, in Gati courier में आप दे रहे हो. What will you do? You give it to Gati courier. Gati courier is sending, okay, Bombay जाएगा, Bombay से फिर दिल्ली जाएगा, दिल्ली से फिर बाद में पाकिस्तान जाएगा. Are you following that? Once it is handed over, that is the responsibility. The same way, we have a clearing and forwarding agents. Custom clearance follow होता है. Even if you relax at your home, give the plan, they will tell you, sir, यहाँ भेज दो. You will load it in the container. If you wish, you can also go there and stand. All the formalities will be done. Then it will be, you are surrendering the vehicle, surrendering the container there. That will go on its own way. So the clearance part also, after going there, they will be taken care. All the charges will be included in this. That is what you will give the bill. I will show you that.
Means we have to take the quote from the clearing and forwarding agent also.
That is what I will tell you. I will tell you.
Okay.
How much it will cost. You need not go out of your office. Only thing is, pack as per the requirement, plan according to how many cartoons will go into the container, hand over it, they will stuff, they will send the material. Not to worry.
Okay.
Now, in this, what is the responsibility? What is the responsibility? Seller. Under FOB, our responsibility is till the goods are loaded on the ship. Then what is the buyer responsibility? Buyer has to advise us, okay, this is the ship, I have done the booking. he will be paying the ocean freight. We are not paying Mumbai. Suppose somebody is asking, give it up to Mumbai. We are our responsibility. FOB we are reaching up to Mumbai and putting on the ship. And the transportation cost from that ship to that Mumbai ship, Mumbai to, imagine you have to go to the Dubai Jebel Ali port. It will go, he will be paying it. For that, he will be booking the slot. Are you clear? Their unloading is his part. Our responsibility ends once the goods are loaded on the ship. Any doubts on this?
So clearing of the customs also our part.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I am telling. Till the goods are loaded on the ship, this is our responsibility.
That is known as FOB, sir.
Sorry?
After clearance and goods are loaded on the ship, that is known as FOB last.
I'm not getting clarity of your voice.
He's trying. You said he's repeating the same. He's checking.
Is my voice clear?
I'm audible, sir, now?
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, sir. What I meant to say is, after our goods are loaded on the ship, and after custom clearance, the goods loaded on the ship, that is known as FOB.
That is correct.
Okay.
Correct.
That transportation part from Mumbai to some other port, our customer is going to be looked after.
Yes, correct.
Sir, even insurance
Okay,
is taken care by the buyer itself, right? In this case, FOB?
No.
Insurance?
Technically speaking, till the goods are handed over to ship in good condition.
Then who is going to verify, sir? The damage happens where? If I am handling correct consignment FOB, the consignment is in good condition, and after that, if some damage happens, then
there is a provision for that.
Okay.
Here, the ownership also you have to see. Till you load the goods on the ship, you are the owner. Once the goods are loaded on the ship, you are no more owner.
No, but then the terms would be after the receipt of the material, the payment would be released. Considering that, if the goods don't arrive in good condition, the buyer may always raise a query that there is a transit damage and we will not pay.
See, this is like international laws plays in role.
Okay.
Sir, can we say like this? Until it's put on the board, the risk is ours for the quality, and right? Afterwards, the risk is the buyers.
Regarding the damage and quality, party also sometimes they will nominate their own people to check the quality. Then after that, he will give the green signal. Okay, who's TK? They will also give the certificate if somebody nominated. Then you have to carefully travel because still it is the goods are yours. What is your responsibility? Buyer को क्या देंगे आप? Damage वाला देंगे या
अच्छे condition का ही material देंगे.
So till it reaches to the on the ship, our responsibility. अगर ये आधा किलोमीटर गया फिर डूब गया, we are not at loss.
Okay.
Because
so the buyer has to pay. The liability is there on the buyer to pay.
Yes.
Okay. And one more query, sir. You said FCA. So the difference between X-Works and FCA is only the loading part?
Yes.
Only difference is loading from the works on the truck. That's all.
थोड़ा सा आगे चले के जाएंगे.
Okay.
Custom clearance भी करना पड़ेगा.
Okay.
Normally it don't comes to you.
Okay.
I'm going to give don't worry, I'm going to give one sheet simple.
Okay.
I'm going to give a small capsule for this. Easy capsule.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Sandeep, you are talking. I think it is muted. Your mic is muted, Mr. Sandeep.
Yeah. Are there any such bodies who can certify the quality?
Yeah, so many.
Okay.
Buyer himself will nominate.
Okay.
Because if you recommend, he will have doubt.
Okay. Now suppose the buyer, he says he wants goods from Mumbai.
Okay.
I'm in Goa. So I have a port here in Goa.
Okay.
So according to his requirement, I have to ship to Mumbai, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. If you cannot arrange ship in Goa, whichever arrangement he makes, we have to send the goods over there.
Correct.
Right.
Or we can also convince, okay, I have the port here, I can, nearest port is my port, I will give the code for this.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, normally what happens, Mumbai, Chennai, main ships will be, the frequency will be more.
Yeah. Okay.
But thinking of small ports like Krishnapatnam we have, the frequency will be less. It takes more time.
Okay. Okay.
Any doubt on the FOB part?
All okay.
Okay, okay.
Clear.
FOB may, what we have done is, goods we have taken from our godown, brought to the customs, loaded in the container may passing karke, then we have kept the container on the ship. Your responsibility over, transfer the ship also, gone to the buyer side, and buyer will unload and buyer will take the goods in his own headache. We are not concerned with that. Then some people, some buyers, they will say, do one thing, I don't want to book my vessel and inform you all this. You give me the delivery till the Dubai. You take care of, give me delivery in Dubai. In this case, our responsibility increased. In every case, he has booked the vessel. Now you have to book the vessel. Ocean freight you have to pay.
I have that like bentonite lumps. It goes in an open vessel, so container is not used. So
see those bulk things like iron ore and other things. These won't go in containers.
Okay.
Bulk vessels.
What is the minimum size of the bulk vessel?
Bulk vessel, right from the 5,000.
Okay.
5,000, 12,500, 25,000, 1 lakh, even 5 lakh tons also can go.
Oh. Okay.
Sir, for container, what is the minimum stock? It has to be a full container, one container.
Yeah, it all depends. Now we are talking about container only, not to be confused with you. We are talking about container. You can also send a part load, like whatever we are sending on trucks. We talk about the part truck or full truck. Same way here also there is a full load and a part load also.
Okay.
That is called, normally whenever you are asking to your agent, he will first question he will ask you, sir, FCL or LCL? FCL means full container load. So he will think in terms of one container. If it is, you say that LCL, he will ask LCL. LCL means less than container. Sir, kitna ton ka maal hai? Apart from tonnage, he will ask you the volume. What is the volume of your cargo? Suppose आप बोलेंगे 1 मीटर पे 1 मीटर पे 1 मीटर मेरा बॉक्स है, ऐसा 10 बॉक्स है. They will calculate in terms of volume.
Okay.
So all these will be on volumetric basis.
Is it only volume or volume plus weight?
Volumetric में there is a calculation.
Okay.
Whichever is higher.
Okay.
Either volume or the weight. For example, इतना 100 किलो का बंडल है आयरन ये वाला है.
Yeah.
And 100 किलो का cotton.
Yeah.
Volumetric में होता है. Okay. Now FOB plus if you are paying a ocean freight till to Dubai, because buyer has asked you, in that case FOB plus ocean freight will become a CFR. This is CFR. Cost and freight. Cost means apna total FOB cost plus we are paying ocean freight. Are you able to see, no? Cost and freight.
Yes, sir.
So this, it will be reaching up to buyer port. Then buyer has to unload. The clearing has to be done by your buyer, and he will be paying the duty and he will be taking to home. That is his headache. Our responsibility is the goods till it reaches to the other port. That is what we have committed. to make the payment even to the ship.
Sir, in this case, as you earlier said, the buyer will be booking the ship. In this case of CFR, do we have to do that part on our own, or he'll specify a ship?
He will not specify.
All right. It depends on us then.
It is our choice.
All right, sir.
We can make our own things. I'll tell you the difference between these two also. इसमें CFR में till it has reached to other port, it will be unloading it. Now, some buyers they will ask, you include insurance also. So far, I have not discussed about insurance. Your buyer may say, please insure the goods and send it to me. इसका नाम से insurance होगा?
In the name of buyer, I think.
You're thinking.
Seller.
It will be on the.
No, if CIF is our part, then in our name it will be, no, sir.
Your name it will be.
Huh?
If we are giving CIF terms, then it will be on our part. Insurance will be ours, sir. We will be going to nominating the insurance. No?
Because we are in responsible.
Responsible of ocean freight, and also whatever will be we are the responsible.
See, once your goods are loaded on the ship, you are not a owner. Remember.
Right, sir.
He is asking you to do insurance. You are not doing. Why will he ask you to do the insurance? For your safety or his safety?
For his safety.
For his safety.
He is also asking you to add the cost to my price. तो किसका जाएगा अभी?
Customer का जाएगा, buyer का जाएगा.
Buyer is asking you to take insurance and add the cost. That is why it is cost, insurance and freight. Simple. In this case, we are adding a total whatever the FOB में जो आ रहे, then we are also paying a ocean freight. Then we are also adding insurance part. Clear? Then
Unloading.
Unloading अपना part नहीं, unloading he has to do that.
Okay.
He will be paying that.
Sir, one doubt here. If at all, I need to send a goods to the particular port, that side, my customer side. That risk is mine.
Correct.
Okay, that risk is mine. Then whether he says it or not, I need to make the insurance. Otherwise, I will be in loss if something happens.
If that is the case, people do that this way.
Okay.
People do this way. You are making your safety. Even
Okay.
people do this insurance still even it goes to Mumbai.
Okay.
FOB case में normally ऐसे ही भेज देते भगवान का भरोसा. Something people they do their own insurance also. If something goes wrong,
yeah,
with thousands you can save lakhs, na.
Correct.
The cost you 2,000, 3,000 insurance है नाम के वास्ते. But if something goes wrong, that will be helpful.
Helpful.
Okay. Now CIF and CFR is CFR means without insurance. CF means with insurance. Unloading is not our part, but we are taking a responsibility. एक के बाद एक बढ़ते जा रहा है हमारा. X work से FOB तक responsibility बढ़ेगा. FOB से CIF का till you are involving your money and making a bill, you are all adding to the cost. Now, these two CIF and CFR both are used for air and sea. In case if it is by road, this will be done. CPT, carriage paid to, and carriage and insurance paid to. This is both are same for road. We use this terminology. CPT is equal to CFR. CF is equal to this. For example, it is going to the Benapole border or Petropole. We are sending that on a truck prepaid. That cost you are building into your bill. Like cost and freight, CFR. And the CIP, कैरेज एंड इंश्योरेंस पेड. कैरेज हम ट्रक में भेज रहे हैं, फिर भी हम इंश्योरेंस करके भेज रहे हैं उनको. This is just the difference between the air and sea, and this is by road. Now coming to DAP. DAP में now what we have to do is in CFR and CAF में we are not unloading anything. DAP में we have to pay the terminal charges वहाँ का unload करने का. We have to get the unload and hand over to particular place, but within the customs only. Unloading has to be built in our cost. DAP. The same thing if it is in the road places. For example, it is going by road. The terminology will be DPU. They may not be port there, but here in by road it is going to the Bangladesh border. That is why the place of unloading. In both places we have to do the unloading. Sea में हम unload नहीं कर रहे, but where deep में we are taking a responsible unloading at a particular place, deliver at place. I'll give the example. For example, Mumbai, there are two ports. Nhava Sheva. One more. India. JNPT. You may ask, okay, I want delivery at JNPT. The goods will be delivered at JNPT. Delivery at place DAP. Suppose you are getting from China. You want a DAP, Nhava Sheva or JNPT. That is, only they will be unloading this material and you have to pick up from there. That will be within custom only. Custom से बाहर नहीं जाएगा. The same case if it is by on land. Land में transport करके unload करेगा तो then it will be DPU. If it is by sea, it will be DAP. Some buyers, they may ask you, can you give me DDP? DDP means delivery duty pay करके you have to make the goods till the delivery is given at his place. Are you getting clarity? DDP में,
yes sir.
DDP में our response will be, our goods are reaching there, we are unloading and we are passing through the customs, paying the import duty, paying the terminal charges, what are the charges for all this, we will be bringing out, again unloading from the container, destuffing, and putting on the truck or taking the container itself. Taking container it will cost you. People what they do, they destuff from the container, they'll put on the truck. ट्रक में कितना किलोमीटर होगा वहां तक जाके, अगर 200-300 किलोमीटर है, we have to travel the goods, we have to hand over till the godown of the buyer. This is exactly opposite to the X works, isn't it? X works में buyer आके घर अपना घर से ले जा रहे, but DDP में seller is giving delivery to the godown of buyer and unloading is buyer part. हम unload नहीं करते हैं. Unloading will be done by the buyer side. Any doubt on this D? D part में? Any doubt on D part?
No, sir.
No. Let me ask you. If you are exporter, which one we prefer? Which term you prefer as an exporter?
FOB, sir.
FOB.
Yeah.
Sir, CIF.
FOB.
X works.
Yes. X work.
Exactly. X works.
X work, no headaches.
आपके घर में आप हो, but X works में if the buyer is in your place, he is taking care, do that X works. Otherwise, he will ask you to do all the things. Okay, Mumbai तक base X work बोलेगा, then you have to take up all the FOB. X works वाला बहुत कम आता है. Mostly आपको आएगा FOB. Whether you sell in FOB or the CIF or X-Works, your profit is going to remain same. Whatever price you are selling 100 rupees, you are adding 20 rupees. Example, you are getting 120 only. We are adding 30 rupees for FOB, we are getting back. If it is costing till to going to the 180, you are going to 180, but the cost already you are paying to others. You are going to remain 15-20% only. But we are facilitating for the buyer. Okay. Now, FOB and CIF in ज़्यादा सा आएगा आपको 95% of the deals happens under the FOB and CIF. 95% deal only with these two. Now, some people especially they ask only FOB. I'll tell you the reason why they ask FOB. Some of the big players, they will have the contract with the ships. जैसा हम कल बात कर रहे थे courier का, कल ही ना किसी ने बात कर रहा था, इतना होता है क्या?
They will be having cost deal.
Cost deal. वो बोलेंगे मुझे 1000 boxes, they will make a contract for whole year. उसका price will be very less. If you are hiring, it may cost $300, but you might have done a deal of $100. So that way, those buyers will be asking you FOB. Regular people, chota mota wala kya karta hai, they don't do this. They will not take a headache. They will say, give me till my port. So we have to send up to that port. That will come under the CAF. Some people they say, okay, give me CFR. CFR का दूसरा नाम है C&F बोलते हैं. Cost and freight को C and F भी बोलते हैं. Don't confuse with that. CFR is a right word. Okay. As an importer, what do you prefer? As an importer.
DDP, sir.
Yes. Last part.
CIF, sir.
DDP, sir.
DDP. Yes. It is an excellent deal. आप घर में बैठो, घर में आ जाएगा आपको courier जैसा. But इसमें थोड़ा सा 10 रुपए ज़्यादा होता है cost. But no headache.
Yeah.
If you are comfortable, okay, 10 रुपए ज़्यादा होगा तो कोई बात नहीं सर, मुझे घर में आना चाहिए. For that people, yes, DDP is the best. But at the same time, if somebody asks you DDP, will you give it? As an exporter,
I would avoid that, sir.
Huh?
I would like to avoid that.
Not easy, sir. Not easy.
We will negotiate for CIF at least.
If your importer is asking DDP, how many are ready to do?
I'm ready to do.
If it is first deal, I will do that, sir.
Yeah, first or second deal, yes, sir.
We are ready to do it, sir.
If we are getting money, we can do everything.
The thing is, in the casting, some elements will be beyond our control. Beyond our control. You don't know what is the kilometer, what is the charge from there to his own place. Yes, duties and other things we can find out. But the thing is, what is the charges they are adding it? Everything you can get it. But the thing is, you will not have the control on the cost. Thereby, the cost may go higher side. Retain yourself up to CAF. If it is FOB, you will be more comfortable. CAF may be उतना ही comfortable है, but only thing you are paying, that's all.
Yeah.
आप उठा के तो ले दे रहे हैं. Already you have done whatever जो भी करना है, ship में चढ़ा दिया. FOB में भी चढ़ाना है, CF में भी चढ़ाना है, ship के ऊपर. Only thing is you are getting extra money. Extra you are investing in sending the goods till to that place. It doesn't make a difference. CAF and FOB ka. Only additionally you are investing and you are getting it back. But there are suppliers who give the DDP to you, some suppliers they will not give. I'll give the example. If you are getting a furniture from any China supplier, even they are ready to give the up to DDP, unfold करके भी जाएगा, घर में फिटिंग करके भी जाने वाला है. वो पूरा टीम ऐसा है उसका. They have the team in India. Even B class cities, तालुका लेवल में भी वो लोग सप्लाई करके they will give home delivery. DDP advantage. So agar you are getting something from China, DDP also they do, but they also mostly first वो क्या बोलते हैं? I'll give to my first dialogue will be I'll give to my nearest port. You organize your transport by sea. Insist them at least give CAF. Only special people only will be giving the DDP. Otherwise, people not come to the DDP. Anybody intention of importing furniture? Anybody importing right now? Any other imports? Are having any idea of importing something?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Earlier I was telling you, sir, I am looking for GI corrugated roofing sheet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That we'll see now.
And then xanthan gum and modified starch for sauces, sir.
Import.
Yeah, sir. Xanthan gum and then modified starch.
Okay. So, are you getting? Have you seen?
Yeah,
that?
sir. Most of the suppliers are imported only, sir. What we are getting in Hyderabad, Bangalore, everyone is imported from China or Germany.
What is the product? I am not clear about the product.
Xanthan gum, sir. Xanthan gum. We use it as an adhesive for sauces, chutneys, and everything, sir. Xanthan gum.
Is it like gum Arabic?
Yeah, sir. It's like a gore gum only. It's like a gore gum only.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mostly this gum Arabic we used to get from African countries. That goes to confectionery
Okay, sir.
also.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Confectionery में भी जाता है.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. Ice creams में भी जाता है, sir.
Right, correct. Okay. Now, any doubts on this? I will go to the next level now. If somebody buyer is asking you, FOB, give me FOB. You know your total cost. Now what you have to find out is how much it will cost for me from my godown to till it reaches to the ship FOB के ऊपर. Ship में चढ़ाने तक कितना हो रहा है? This you have to get the quotation from your clearing and forwarding guy. Customs clearance wala. When you approach them, they will give the quote depending on your activity. You have to discuss. It all depends on different dynamics. For example, if you are in Hyderabad, he may say, okay, sir, if you want us to send the vehicle to your place, or are you organizing yourself to send it to my port ICD? Based on your discussion, he will give the quotation. Even they come for a pickup also.
Yeah.
Then what are the quotation is coming? You divide it to your how much units, how many kilos or how many tons is going in that particular container. Imagine, in a simple language I am telling, 20 tons का माल जा रहा है. वो देंगे आपको पूरा सारे यहाँ से आप मुझे send me to up to ICD, and from there I will take care till it loaded on the ship FOB. Imagine he has given 1 lakh rupees quotation. उसमें 20 टन जा रहा है. What is the cost per ton?
Per ton plus 5,000 rupee.
Per ton 5,000, kilo का 5 रुपया.
I will add to my selling price.
This doesn't require any big calculators here. Yes, we can do in Excel beautifully. You can do that, but I'm telling in a common language. 5 रुपया लोग ऐसा ही एक दो शिपमेंट कर दिए ना, आप यही बात करेंगे. अच्छा मेरा 1 लाख हो रहा है, 5 रुपया मेरा 5,000 टन का होता है या 3,000 टन का होता है. This is how the people speak. Then additional थोड़ा adding 50 रुपया additional expenses. Then you are adding a profit. Material costs, transportation, you are adding your profit. And instead of adding all the interest and the other miscellaneous, we are compromising in your profit in the first deal. Don't make big calculations. For example, 15% आप add कर रहे हो. Example, 15 में 2%, 3% जाएगा आपका other expenses. Even if you get 10% that way, don't go for big calculations in the beginning. And don't expect the high profits in the first deal. First, you have to get into the business. Don't make a big ambition in the beginning. Okay, ambition is good, but the thing is, you have to get into the line.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Normally, since I don't have any business experience, could you please tell me how businessmen keep their margins? Like, what is a universal thumb rule where we can put our margin percentage?
See, margin percentage cannot be fixed when you go for negotiations. Imagine आपको 20% margin रखा हो 20% चाहिए, but सामने वाला लेने वाला भी चाहिए ना.
Majorly, it works on market rates.
Market condition.
Market condition.
Normally, there won't be any a thumb rule like global market is like this, like GDP is like this, so that we should go for 19% margin, something like that. It doesn't work like that.
No.
Okay.
It will work like.
Okay, fine.
Because again, you have to compare. Those are the factors. What is the market trend? What is the market prices? What is happening? That also you have to consider. Okay. So I'm going to show one document here. This document will give the clarity about what is the terminology, what is the responsibilities. Now, for example, experts may. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Experts may activities are written here. Export packing, loading charges, delivery, export duty taxes or custom clearance, terminal charges, loading वगैरह कराने का, loading charges, carriage charges, insurance, all this till it goes to the import duty custom clearance करके वो बाहर ले जाने तक. Experts में क्या कर रहे हैं हम लोग? Export जैसा बोला packing करके we are keeping it ready. And buyer is coming and picking up. Loading on the truck also buyer responsibility. When it comes to FOB, कहाँ तक जा रहे हैं हम लोग? Loading and carrier. Loading and carrier, main carrier. Maybe the ship or which are the main carrier. Then, if it is CAF, we are taking insurance also. Salary insurance, लेके sending the goods. Same way, if you are talking about DDP में everything we are selling doing. Buyer, what buyer has to do is unloading is part. हम उसका घर तक ले जा रहे हैं, but unloading is part. So this is there in your study material. Important PDF. This only single sheet is enough for you to understand.
Sir, there is a disturbance is going on, sir. Could you?
Asim, please. After talking, please mute yourself.
No, sir. I'm getting some disturbance from other contestant. That's why I'm telling you.
Please check it up. Your mics. Okay. Now, next. Whenever you are talking, the quotation can come like this. It may not be in the like whatever I'm showing Excel. Some people will give even the mail itself, they will write this is iska itna. But ultimately what you have to see is what is the total cost it is coming to me. You may not be able to analyze those individual points. Once you do this, you will also get the experience. But if you are having a trusted partner, that is very important. The trusted partner are already into this field. You get some reference, do that. Or you can also take the quotation from 2-3 people. That will help you to make a judgment. This is a small example I'm giving, like whatever I discussed now. This was going to Colombo, clearing and transportation. This is for FOB, actually. He has given a quotation for 40 feet. And it is costing how much? Total clearing, net total clearing plus 26,000 is the costing. And 40 feet is a big container. There are two types of containers. There are many types, but normally what people speak is 20 feet or 40 feet. Sometimes you might have seen the longest container. Those are all 40 containers. If you are seeing equivalent to the truck level, those are 20 feet containers. 20 feet it may go up to 25, 26 tons. 40 feet में कितना जाएगा? Any idea?
Same.
50 tons.
No, it should be same, sir.
40 to 50 tons. Depend on
50 to 60 tons, sir.
Generally, that is used for more volume product.
20 feet का 26 tons, 20 by 26 जाता है, तो 40 feet का कितना जाएगा?
double.
28 tons.
Huh?
27 or 28 tons.
52 tons, sir.
टेक्निकली कैलकुलेशन करेगा तो उतना ही आएगा, 52 आएगा, जाएगा. Only 26 only. This is used basically for volume के लिए. Even पूरा लोड भी नहीं जाता कोई आइटम. For example, cotton है, चिल्ली है. So even that won't be going 26 टन का माल भी नहीं आता उसके अंदर, क्योंकि बंद ही रहता है ना. So it won't fit into this. Even though 20 feet का, for example, cashew nut बोरी में भर के आता है वो जूट वाला. 17.5 tons आते हैं बस. Though you can load up to 26 tons, 25 tons, but volume it is taking na. So that is why you have to calculate about what money you are spending and what is the load you are using that. Divided by total cost divided by your thing. This is only for FOB has given the quotation. The next one is.
Hello. So what are the craft charges?
Sorry?
What is it?
Don't ask the individual. Suno.
Sorry?
See, there are so many abbreviations, so many individual charges, all these, depending on the product, they will be giving the quotation.
Okay.
For some other item, depending on the, in a simple language, take it lightly. Container धोने का, सुखाने का, डोर लगाने का, ताला लगाने का, हर एक का charges लगता है.
All right.
But they will be in the different names. DO charges, delivery charges, door opening charges.
What is that? What is that pallet charges, sir?
Pallet means suppose एक कुछ cartons है, छोटा-छोटा cartons है. वो पूरा एक में बना देता है. Instead of making it, they make it pallet. पूरा bundle जैसा बना देता है. कितने डब्बा कितने हैंडल करेगा? 50 पीस एक बंडल जैसा बना देता है. पैलेट एक तरफ ऐसा उठा के अंदर डाल देता है, बड़ा वाला बॉक्स जैसा बना के ऐसा. क्योंकि डिपेंडिंग ऑन द प्रोडक्ट, डोंट गो इनटू डीप ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल आइटम्स. व्हाट प्रोडक्ट यू आर डीलिंग, यू कैन get the quotation, but I am giving a central idea of the costing for you.
So again, it will be on the payment base also. See, last around 3-4 years back, we have sent some automobile spare parts to Sudan.
Okay.
What we have done is we have purchased locally here and we have packed it in wooden boxes and sent it. Even the weight is also concerned to that.
Yes, that is why volumetric, whichever is high.
Volumetric. Yeah, volume as well as weight, both they will be considering.
Both they will consider whichever is high.
Okay.
Calculation for that internationally. Okay.
Even local also particular VRL, for example, like where we will be having a huge bundles, they will be going through volumetric only. Even local, supply also.
Then next step क्या है? This is I'm talking about the FOB level.
Okay.
if you are sending up to that port, buyer side port, maybe Sri Lanka, maybe Dubai, he is going to give you the quotation like this. This is actually one sheet only divided into two. This he will be talking about the destination वहाँ freight charges देखिए $650. ये लोग क्या करते हैं, total handling of the container from that place to till the other end, वो पूरा cost लगाएगा. इसमें you can see terminal handling charges. All the charges will come. That itself is coming up to 69,000. Normally people, they are just for a calculation purpose, they give two different quotes. What this guy has given is 2 liners का quotation दिया. One is coming to 1 lakh, one is coming to 93. Which one you will go? Obviously you go for the L1. But timing is also same. कितना दिन लग रहा है? 5 to 6 days. Here also 5 to 6 days. Like our buses, when you are choosing the bus, all are going to Bangalore. Some buses are 1,000, some buses are 2,000, some buses are 1,500. So anyway, same time में वो पहुंचेगा, but it all difference. So now the total cost has come to you 1 lakh. This is what I was telling. For example, 1 lakh का आ गया आपका total cost. Then divided how many tons you have loaded. This is how just I am giving a calculation for you. Imagine your material cost is 60 rupees. And 40 feet container में 26 ton जा रहा है. How much it comes? 1 rupee. Ocean freight के लेके CFR का total आ रहा है 460. Total amount is 1,90,308 divided by 26 tons. Your cost is coming to this. If you are adding profit, profit is to be added on your base cost, not on the total cost. This is what people do the mistake. Okay, मेरा material cost इतना, transportation cost 10 rupees, 70 rupees के ऊपर 15%. Then the cost will go high. This profit is not on 70. This thing profit should be added on the percentage of your base cost. So this I have gone to 7.5. This coming to 72.1. Just for a rounding of the calculation, I have taken a. Now, whenever you are giving a cost, we have to give the cost in terms of dollars divided by the present dollar rate. Then, just for calculation purpose, I made it 70 to $1. $1 is my cost. But now, 60 plus 65 rupees is your no profit, no loss. And this is where we have to play with the margin. Even if you are getting a 4 rupees or 3 rupees or 5 rupees, this is where there is no fixed formula of adding a profit. The situation will tell you how to adjust between no loss, no profit to your highest, whatever the target you have kept. Okay, you want to sell it 75 also, but people should be ready. You are getting a 75, well and good. उससे कोई बुरा नहीं है, तो definitely you can sell it. Especially in terms of commodities, getting a 10 to 15% is the highest profit. 10% is also highest profit. Why? Because commodities are daily purchased by people. You can't have a more profit. You can have a volume of business. Business will be in volumes. For example, onion खरीदने जाते हैं. Again, one more week we will going to purchase onion. आलू खरीदते हैं. Weekly we will purchase once or twice. But if we are purchasing a freezer or a TV, when are you going to purchase next? So that difference will be there. That is where if it is a engineering product or some other product, they have the profit of even 100%, 200% also, but not on this thing. For example, bike खरीदते हैं. Nowadays, bike is costing 1 lakh rupees. Is it 1 lakh worth of material? Is it worth of 1 lakh? Whatever the cars we are purchasing, it is worth of this much. Profits are high in that, but not on the commodities. So don't worry about the costing. Costing, make it simple. Compromise your pricing depending on the situation. Now, at this juncture, if you are having a ready data, what is the market price, that will also help you. अगर आपका costing आ रहा है 75 रुपीस आ गया, market में जा रहा है 70 जा रहा है, 71, 72 में जा रहा है, but when you are calculating all these 75 आ रहा है, something wrong. Whether sourcing is wrong, are you adding a high profit, or your transportation is going high. Where we have to correct. So you have to evaluate your cost. Where should I reduce my cost? Because the same thing will happen when you simply quote to someone, oh, the rate ज़्यादा है आपका. If you ask, no, tell me your price, what is your target price? Then he will say, I'm looking at 70, but your price is $75. That is how you can minimize your extra cost if you know the present market price. That nobody will tell you other than your shipment data. The latest one will help you to come to this data. Then next step. How many of you are focusing on import? 2-3 people said.
I am also.
Yes, sir, myself.
Park also.
Even I am also.
I also, sir.
Now, any product when you are want to import, you should also know what is the costing. The importer, when you are an importer, the same cost what we are doing a firefighting. Yeah, they might have done it. They might have fixed the price. What we are doing, they might have done already. They are in the line. They will give the price. Okay, my CF price is this. My FOB is this. CF is this. Now you have to calculate how much it will cost me. What would be my cost if I am getting to till my godown? After that only you will be taking a decision whether to import or not. You know the cost, you should know the duties, you should know the reverse calculation. The way we have calculated up to FOB going to till the clearance, the same way you have to work on the reverse way. Now, based on your product, import duties differ. Import duties also sometimes, if you are dealing any particular countries, let me here, with some countries who have the free trade agreements. If you are importing anything from the free trade agreement, your duties, you need not pay the duties. Number one. Number two, we have certain preferential trade of agreements. PTA बोलते हैं, FTA, PTA. FTA means free trade agreements. That agreements defines only particular items, not all. If you go through the agreements, you will understand this agreement covers the following HS codes. That also, whichever is majorly traded items only, they will be making this agreement between these two countries. Okay, हम आपका export करते हैं, आप import मत लगाओ, आपका वाला में हम import में लगाएंगे. This is the agreement, bilateral agreements between these two countries to promote the trade between these two countries. That is how the agreement comes in some countries. In some countries, what happens? They may not be comfortable to lose all the money. They will say, okay, we'll give some preference. Those are called PTAs, preferential trade agreements, PTA, FTA. If this idea also we'll be covering this topic separately in a separate section. But now at least what is the base duty you are getting, that I'll show you. I'm showing you user friendly. Again, tomorrow, next time we are showing on the other side. Have you seen anytime eximguru.com? Anybody know about EXIM Guru? You have seen eximguru.com?
Not before.
Okay. So this is a general site. It will give the common understanding. Various notifications and everything will be there. This is the info drive website. You come to customs. Take Indian custom duty. Click on this. It will ask you the product. What product? Custom duty rate such. Now tell me what is the product you were talking. Somebody was talking about the one product, na? Roofing wala.
Corrugated roof he was telling about.
Okay. Corrugated roofing sheets. Na? Just as a layman, I am just typing it. Let us see what it comes. No searches for this.
The spelling wrong, sir.
Try some cars.
There was a spelling wrong earlier.
Cars are 200%. Not the car, we are not importing that much. Okay.
Spelling wrong earlier.
I'll show the cashew. You can search for this, you can search for your own product. Yeah. Custom duty of coconuts, Brazil nut, cashew nut, fresh or dried, or whether or not shelled or peeled. Let us take this. Once you click, all will be ads in the top. You have to come bottom. Now from here it starts. Start with coconut. Let us take cashew nut, raw cashew nut we will try. Because it shows all the nuts here.
There is a different HS code for only cashew nut. Yesterday I had searched cashew.
Cashew nut in shell. No, different will be there.
Yeah.
In shell and without shell also. What is so many ads are coming here? Cashew nuts in shell. Okay. Cashew nuts in shell. Basic custom duty is showing 30 rupees. Social welfare charge 10% off 30. IGST 5%. Now tell me, duty is to be calculated on which price? What is your
Cumulative price, sir.
Huh?
Cumulative.
Cumulative means?
X work.
One adds to another, one after another.
No, Mr.
Like,
It should be X work.
Duty is calculated on CIF price.
Mr. Anjane,
Assessable value.
now you should not talk like a layman, cumulative or non-cumulative. You should talk about CAF or FOB.
Okay, sir.
After knowing this terminology, that is what the difference makes. When you talk about this wording, people will understand. Okay, cumulative means there is a cumulative word here in the exports. FOB or CAF only. Now tell me.
That should be on FOB.
Huh?
FOB.
FOB.
Yeah.
X works, I think it should be.
It should be.
As my knowledge goes, it's on CIF.
Government देने के time में whenever you are exporting, your all benefits will be calculated on the basis of FOB price.
Duties will be on.
Huh?
Benefits will be on FOB and duties will be on CIF.
CIF. लेने के time में government क्या करते हैं आपको? Whatever the freight you are paying, that also they will on that only they will charge you. See, this is a let us calculate custom duty calculator. I will click on this. It will ask you the price to insert. Which price? Enter CAF value. It is asking CAF value. Now, उसके अलावा assessable value assessment will be done on the basis of CAF plus 1% landing charge. वहां नहीं छोड़ रहा है आपको, उसके ऊपर 1% और चार्ज कर रहा है. Just to make you calculation simple, I am typing 100 only here, just for a percentage purpose. Calculate custom duty. Now come down, it will give the result. Total custom duty is 40.04. What was your expectation? 30 rupees is the 30 rupees is your 30% is your custom duty. And how much you are paying now?
40%.
Now, IGST is refundable. It can be, you will be getting input credit. So net cost will be 34 rupees.
34%.
Whatever IGST you are paying now, that can be your input. Provided you are a trader or a manufacturer. Suppose if you are getting a furniture for a home purpose, you will not get. Because ultimately, whoever is the end user, they will be paying this. That is a value of GST. Any doubts on this? Now, after this, your product cost, whatever the 100 rupees you are getting, then becomes 140. Out of 140, you are getting
5%.
So that 6% of IGST, when we take a shell and then again we process and sell it as a nut directly. Then again GST is applicable, right? To the
is applicable. Okay. What are GST you are collecting? For example, you have collected 10 rupees from the client. 6 rupees already there in your credit.
Okay.
Only 4 rupees difference.
Right. Got it.
But this is IGST, no, sir. We are collecting CGST and SGST.
Yeah.
So somewhere it will get adjusted.
Yeah.
Okay.
It will be adjusted. Then your material costs, import duty costs, plus reverse calculation. Again, the costing will be like around 40,000, 40,000 will be your handling charges and custom clearance charges. Apart from the duty, 20,000-30,000 will be your container charges will be coming, because you have to unload, terminal handling charges will come, then liner charges, all these 20,000-25,000 your clearing agent will charge you. Then reverse calculation from the port to whichever place you wanted to take it back to your material, that cost also will be added to your material cost, your costing.
Yeah.
Then that will come to the figure of how much is my cost of my product. Are you clear?
Yes, sir. One small doubt. Do we have the same thing for the like when we are exporting also? Like the same some site or anything?
For exporting to calculate what?
This the customs duty and all that. Or
There
we
is no
should get
custom
that.
duty. There is no custom duty for us, na? Goods have to be exported, not the taxes.
Okay.
Only thing is, we have to get the quotation from the freight forwarder.
Customs clearance is there, na, sir?
No, custom clearance is there, but not the duties, na?
Yeah, no taxes. It is
taxes.
only to be approved whether this is exportable or not.
But there are taxes also, but very nominal. For example, iron ore जाता है, iron ore के ऊपर government tax देना पड़ता है government को. But other products, government is paying you back. Paying you back means that is some of the what are the taxes we have already incurred on that. Government is paying you back.
Okay.
How, sir? This is we have to give them the BL. How it is refunded by the government?
There is a process, we'll tell.
Okay.
There is a process.
Sure.
Claim with 3 documents that we'll be discussing later.
Sir, there is a doubt here. Once in the after the selling price, our tax will be there. Whatever CGST, SGST tax will be there. Then all our charges comes into the picture. While exporting, I am talking about. All taxes comes into the picture. I am not understanding these duties. Like no, these are the duties applied on the product. Where exactly it comes?
Yeah.
These are for import, sir. Import.
That's for imports. Okay.
Don't combine import and export. What we are talking right
this
now
is only for imports.
Only for import, not exports.
Okay.
So one more thing, this taxes, what we say CGST and SGST, it is added on all the things like transportation and our product pricing and all that. Bottom line.
It is on the selling
price.
On CAF.
On CAF, because in this right now, which you have shown the document on transportation separately, CGST is added. Something is
that is separate. That is separate.
Achha. Okay.
Because अगर transporter bill देते हैं आपको, वो भी GST लगाते हैं ना?
Yes, transporter also. Okay.
But this is what you are paying is central duties you are paying.
Okay.
For the product. Okay?
Okay, okay.
Any other doubts?
Carry on. Carry on.
Sir, I have one doubt. Hello?
Yes, Sundaraj, go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, you had mentioned regarding the export rate that can be fetched from the shipping data. Right? Is there any method that we can fetch the import rate as well?
Both.
Both can be done?
That is what when you are purchasing, you will ask export data or import data.
Okay.
Both
okay. So that's great. Okay. Great, sir. Thank you.
Okay. No questions. We'll break for dinner. We'll catch up by 9:15.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
If anything, we'll take 5 minutes.
Okay.
Before starting the session.
Right.
Okay. So see you by 9:15.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Our guest also will be ready.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, right. See you at 9:15. Okay, welcome back.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I had a query.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, okay. So suppose I just wanted to know the part of the structure, like from my go down to the receiving guy. So the cost involved in the sense terms of customs and like I'll give an example. Suppose I am sending a mask, okay, a mask which a full container, 40-ton container. So I load it to the truck, and it got to the so first cost is raw material, that is my cost, material cost. Okay. So then I gave to transporter to ship to the port.
Right.
So once it reaches the port, that is the first cost, like transporter first cost. Then it reaches to the port. At the port, I have to get a CHA, right?
No.
Custom clearing agent.
Start from your doorstep only.
Okay. Let's start from doorstep. So at my doorstep, I have some material which costed 100 rupees. Okay.
Right.
So I gave transporter to that port. I loaded a truck and gave 10 rupees to the truck to reach to the port. Okay. Then once reaching the port, I have to give a cost of 2 CHA, right, for clearing customs clearance, right?
Yeah.
One is CHA cost. So he will do all the documentation for me, and that doesn't include taxes or duty, right? That is CHA cost is different than duty and all.
There is no duty for your exports. First thing.
So he will pay the duty.
There is no duty involved in the exports.
Okay, there's no duty involved. So custom clearance said CHA will give the quote for my material. Okay, this is the cost. So that is let's say 20 rupees I paid to CHA. Then there will be shipping charges that depends on the condition me and the buyer, what we has agreed, that will add shipping charges.
Right.
Okay. Then once that reaches the shipping port, like the buyer port, then the clearance charges at buyer port.
Yeah, that will be paid by buyer. Even unloading and that liner charges, all these will be additional cost. That will be in his account.
Okay, at buyer's port.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a simple way, to make it simple, the clearing and forwarding guys, they will do all these things.
Achha, okay.
You will say, sir, one container में मेरा 4,000 boxes जाता है. Tell him that this many boxes. They will also tell you. They will tell you package. Sir, इस container में इतना volume जाता है. If you want to pick up from your godown, they will pick it up. Or say that I'll send my vehicle up to the wherever container is there, I'll send up to the container.
Okay.
They get unload, do the formalities, put it in the container. The container will be processed.
Okay, understood.
All these, there are people who will do this. We'll be getting them on 17th. Last day, I'm inviting that gentleman who will take care of all your activities.
Okay. So, sir, it is my question is, it is possible that at my doorstep I'll get the rate. If I contact a CHA agent, I'll get that rate. So this is the final rate to that port. Because when I get an order, last time also I got an order, got stuck because it was a disposable order, disposable material.
विकास सर आपका म्यूट ऑन है, डिस्टरबेंस आ रहा है सर.
हाँ, मैं सोचा विनोद का है. हाँ.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
No problem.
Like I can get that rate because that guy asked me Dubai port में मेरे को चाहिए ये material. So I got the volume and everything from my supplier, but I couldn't know what will be the exact cost from this to that end, so I couldn't give him a quote. So
No.
I just want to know, there are people, if I contact them, they will give me an exact number from this place to this place. This is the final charge.
Correct.
So I can add that in my quotation and give to my buyer.
Direct cost मिल जाएगा आपको.
Okay.
That is how I'm going to connect you people, whether I'm going to call one and I can give you other people also for comparison.
Okay, sir.
So even after that also, after classes also over, you can talk to these issues to me directly.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. This is for everyone. Not to worry about this. If you have any confusion, come back to me. I'll guide you. I'll connect to the right people who will undertake your activity.
That's great, sir.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Not only 6 days relation. Our relation will start after 6 days.
Okay, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
You were telling somebody that we can also use our e-commerce website for exports, and for that we need to have a subdomain. So, what exactly do we mean by subdomain, sir?
From the same domain, you can take another domain also.
Okay. And it will be on the same website.
Yeah.
Okay. So for that, if I ask GoDaddy, they'll be able to help me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, our list is waiting. Our speaker will be joining in 5 minutes. If any questions, I can take that.
Sir, I requested one pharma expert, sir.
Number is not working.
Okay.
After your message, I tried him.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So I'll take from someone and give you.
Yeah, please.
Because he was doing the merchandising. Now he started.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
That was a company phone, I think, that time. He called me.
Sir.
Saved his number.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I'll try to give you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right.
Sir, for like in search, can we search like writing pickles? Pickles.
You can.
Normally,
Sir,
which country?
Hello.
Normally, which country is most importing with that product, sir?
See, that is what exercise I given you yesterday. You are not done.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
That is what I told you, na?
Okay, sir. I'll do it, sir.
Now you should not ask me, sir. You should
Okay, sir.
have your own data. When people say oh, it is going to Dubai, you should tell them rightly. No, no, it goes to Singapore, Malaysia also. Huh?
Okay, sir. Sure, sir.
The technique is in your hand.
Yeah, yeah.
I can tell you, but the thing is, that is what you are supposed to do.
No, I'll do it, sir. I'll do it, sir.
Try and tell me tomorrow.
Sure, sure.
Which pickle is in the country.
Sure, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Again, it should have this food license. Asim. Hello?
Excuse me.
Ah, sir. Yeah, sir. Yes, sir.
You should have food license.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
घर में पिकल बना के बेचने तो नहीं हो सकता है.
No, no, sir. There is one company called Janapriya in Rajamandri. We are purchasing from him. My father is purchasing from him and selling in Vijayawada actually.
Oh.
So I think he might be having food license with him now, sir.
They are in the market. They have a food license.
Yeah, that will work now, sir. I mean, we can export with their own brand. We can export it now, sir.
You can.
Sorry, sir.
You can export.
Okay.
If you don't have the objection.
Oh.
For example, yeah, to export, they cannot allow. Even
okay.
If you should have a NOC from the manufacturer.
Okay. Okay.
So in that case, they don't have an objection, you can do that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Sir,
in textiles, is there any particular category which is always in demand or highly in demand?
Highly in demand is ready-made garments.
Okay.
Evergreen market.
Okay, sir.
What are the items you are focusing?
No, sir. Actually, I am into home furnishings also. So I was because garments is getting tough day by day.
Garment में the main big issue is there is a big demand. Fashion changes very quickly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Price changes. But home
yes.
decor इतना ज़्यादा नहीं है.
नहीं है sir. हाँ. Home decor में sir easy है थोड़ा. Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
The only thing is you have to focus on the color combinations.
In home decor.
Home decor. So today now it is 2020.
Yeah.
Market colors are already there. 2022 का colors अभी market में है.
Oh, okay.
Yes, in advance the color forecast will be there. Every year one color will be forecasted.
And where do we check these color this thing, sir? Forecasts?
There is a forecast, color forecast करके change करना. I forgotten the name. There is a gentleman name is there. So they forecast. Ready-made garment में there are 4 seasons: autumn, winter, spring, summer.
Right.
4 seasons का 4 color अलग-अलग होता है. Focus.
Yes.
Yeah, I closely worked with this textile, so I know the seasons and difficulties.
Okay.
So textile में इतना ज़्यादा home textile also follows the same thing, but the thing is not that much.
Okay, sir.
That much changes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, how is the demand of this home automation?
Home automation is going very high.
I couldn't see. Sorry?
Even domestic in India itself, people are very cautious.
Yeah, but when I was searching in this commerce website, I couldn't find that there's some specification, or I just typed home automation. There's nothing coming.
Not to get like that. You have to be specific on the product.
Okay.
Because again, you have to be on specific products wise.
Okay.
ये तो सब पहले से है बाहर. हम लोग
But in Dubai, I heard that there's a full demand of this.
Yeah. Demand is there.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have the guest with us.
No, sir. Sorry for the interruption. To answer his question, what do you mean by home automation, sir? Products which are related to home automation, what do you mean by that?
What are the products? Sharan.
Smart home.
Smart home in terms of interiors or what?
Interiors. We have a app which we have developed it. When you want to switch off the fan, on the app itself, you can switch off the fan.
Even from office, you can control the fridge.
Even you can control through internet. If you are coming from your office to home, it takes 10 minutes. If you want to put your geyser on, you can in your mobile, you can put the app. You can download one app, and you just click it, geyser on.
Okay.
Lord, by the time you come home, it will be ready, hot water.
Okay.
Or you can schedule it. If you want morning 8 o'clock, you want to on your geyser. 8:15, you want to cut off it. You can schedule it. At 8:15, it will.
If you want to share me a feedback about it as a business from the point of as a banker, I have something to share with everybody.
Very good.
So actually, if you see, sir, in India, the problem is that if you go and ask anybody who is going to build their own self-occupied residential property or whatever it may be, you will come across only one feedback, that is the building a new house on our own is very, very tough in India. It costs a lot in terms of real estate infrastructure, whatever you name, automation and everything, interiors, exteriors, be it building or labor charges, everything. But what I did not understand as of now as a banker is that builders are very profit oriented, and the person who is building the own means the owner of the house is also paying a lot of money. But in terms of banking channel, it will not reflect. That is the problem in India. As he is speaking about the home interiors, now if you see in India, there is a very, very minimal amount of bank account to bank account routing in terms of money or investment that is being put into real estate in India. That is a major problem in India, where you cannot find a real estate company mostly who is taking loans or borrowing money from banks. And for that matter, if you ask me, they are not even eligible. They have been caution listed as a sector-wise.
Okay.
Sir, one thing I wanted to ask, in terms of textile demand perspective, let's say winter is coming right now. So right now, to all the buyers which have been buying for winter clothing from India, they must have already bought, and their order might be shipped like in August only.
April.
April, like 3 months transit time, and then sales time and cataloging and everything. So like this season wise product, like what we do in exports, so how to judge the correct time, or how to determine the correct time for any product which is seasonal? Because like some products like cashew, let's say India में इस season में demand है, March April में demand है, but it's not necessary that in other countries the demand will be at the same time. Like इधर दिवाली में demand है तो उधर Christmas में demand रहेगा, और अगर Israel है तो they have some other festival, they have some more demand on that season. So that determination how to do.
See, once you come into the lane, you will understand many seasons, because local domestic importances, domestic preferences, like our Diwali or Sankranti, this kind of festivals also makes a difference of purchases.
Yes, sir.
You have to follow the demographics and profile of the country also. What
Correct.
purchase seasons kya hai?
That is why if you can note the top headlines of any business newspaper, sir, doing business in India is very tough. That is what the comment made by CEOs of MNCs also. It is completely culture oriented, language oriented, and demographic oriented and seasonal oriented.
Okay, this session we will be talking about only the banking terms. Now we have banker with us now. So we welcome you, Mr. Harish. Harish is a
good evening to everyone.
ICICI Bank is a relationship manager. He is daily with the exporters. That is why he was interfering with Arun. So daily he talks to many, at least 5 to 10 exporters or importers. So they are dealing a lot of exporters. So we wanted to listen from him about what is the role of bank in exports and imports.
Yeah, and loans
How
and
payments are moving.
loans and facilities also.
What are the facilities they are giving? Because ICICI is the number one in the technology adoption and updation. So they are brought out, they have changed the total banking scenario when they entered into the ICICI. Because right from the beginning, even I was a shareholder also when the ICICI came, as well as I was account holder. So I know how they evolved so far.
Is Harish
So,
from Hyderabad, sir?
He is from Hyderabad.
Which branch, sir?
Kokatpalli. So irrespective of the branch, he is ready for serving to all over India. Okay, he is not confined to only his branch. He wanted to share the knowledge. He is very exporter friendly. He wanted to share the knowledge, guide the people for export, like us. We are on the same mission. We should export more and import less.
I am now predetermined to open the account in ICICI.
Huh? Okay.
I'm predetermining to open the account in ICICI for the next.
So good. So Park is in Hyderabad. Harish, you catch him. He will talk to you. Okay. So without losing time, let us introduce Harish. Harish is having more around a decade experience from his services, daily dealing with exporters. He will talk about how the payment system is happening, and hedging process also will touch because of the dollar fluctuation without losing the money. And he will also talk about the EFC account, Harish.
Yeah,
we can touch. Then he will also talk on various products. They have the special products for exporters. So my request to everyone is let him deliver it. We'll discuss in the last, we'll discuss 15-20 minutes, no problem. Now everybody had a dinner. I don't know, Harish was in the meeting, he had a dinner or not.
I was actually in a very hurry, sir. Actually, one of my clients' outward remittance is supposed to happen yesterday. It was being postponed, and it is a high-value transaction of 1.8 million euros. And today, I think most of you are aware that today is a US holiday. There is no any deal booking or this thing happening, currency fluctuation. So that was supposed to be happen today. Otherwise, the deal will go for the cancellation, where the customer will be levied with 1.5 lakh charges. That's why 1.5 year, last 1.5 hour, I was been with the foreign bank in Concom.
Okay, good.
So finally, just 10 minutes back, we got a swift confirmation that the amount has been remitted to the foreign bank.
Good job. Okay, now over to Harish. He will take us through the banking aspects. So those who have any doubts, at the last we will discuss. Whatever he asks, we will respond him. So without deviating in the questions, we will take 15-20 minutes, half an hour, not a problem. We'll discuss and we'll clarify all your doubts and we'll leave you.
Yes, sir. Start.
Now over to Harish.
Yes, sir. I am just trying to share the screen.
Okay, not given, sorry.
Once again, very good evening to everybody, those who are there in the session. I was actually supposed to join this session at 9:10 or 9:05. I was late by 15 minutes. I am very apologies for that. So we'll try to close this session within 30 to 40 minutes, and then we will be open for the discussion for next 15 to 20 minutes after the session. I'm just trying to share the screen. It is visible now, sir?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. And once again, I need the confirmation whether the screen or voice is very clear or not.
It's clear.
Voice and the screen is very clear.
Yeah.
All are clear.
Yeah. I will just start the presentation, and in the middle of the presentation, after a minute or 2 minutes, somebody please confirm whether the approach towards the presentation is too slow or too fast or medium. It's okay. So that will modify it accordingly. So these are the topics that I'm going to discuss and take you through for next 35 minutes to 40 minutes. So first we will discuss about what are the different types of documents in a foreign trade transaction. That is the first very important topic in prospect of import and export. Then we will discuss about the different payment methods in a foreign trade transaction. And then we will touch upon forex hedging solutions. Hedging solution means that how to mitigate the risk of the foreign currency fluctuation based on the stock market, how it will affect an importer and exporter. Then we will also discuss about an EFC account as suggested by Koteshwar sir. And then we also will discuss about what makes ICICI the most preferred import and exporting partner for all these companies. So let me start with the first concept, that is what are different types of documents in a foreign trade transaction. So throughout the presentation, whenever I am using the term foreign trade, it means that it can be either an import leg or it can be an export leg. Okay. So there are basically 5 different types of documents in a foreign trade transaction. One is the commercial document. First type of document in a foreign trade transaction is a commercial document. So commercial document is nothing but you can treat it as an invoice. When we are speaking about an invoice in an import and export or foreign trade prospect, the invoice is classified basically into 2 types. One is a pro forma invoice, the other is a commercial invoice. Pro forma invoice means an invoice that is being prepared by the exporter or the signed or accepted by the importer before the movement of documents or before the movement of funds pertaining to those goods or export or import. Then that invoice is called as pro forma invoice. Vice versa situation, it is called as commercial invoice. So this is the theoretical explanation about an pro forma invoice and commercial invoice. Don't worry, I think most of you do not understand what I told you. So I will give you whatever the theoretical definition or whatever the banking terminology that I use. The good thing that I will support you in terms of understanding of level of knowledge is that I will give you a real-time example so that everybody can understand it very simply and very easily. So this is a theoretical explanation about the difference between a pro forma invoice and a commercial invoice. Let me give you an example in your real time so that you will get a clarity on it. So say suppose for example, if you wanted to buy any things for your day-to-day use, for your household activities, what will you do is that we will just walk into the retail store or a supermarket, and whatever the things that we wanted to purchase, we just pick it up and we will put it in the basket, and then we will go to the cash counter, we will make the payment, and they will deliver the goods along with the receipt or invoice. In such type of day-to-day activities, what is happening is that the storekeeper will give you the invoice along with the goods, and you will make the payment. All these 3 things means sharing of payment, sharing of goods, and sharing of invoice is happening across the table simultaneously or parallelly. So that's why you cannot see the concept of pro forma invoice over there across the counter of day-to-day purchases. So that invoice is called as a plain invoice or a commercial invoice. Means there is no concept of pro forma invoice under such circumstances. But you just reverse the scenario. Say suppose for example, you wanted to buy a car or you wanted to buy some mobile or laptop. Normally, costlier items, how the flow of these 3 things will happen is that if you wanted to buy a car, it is not that you just go to a showroom and make the payment and get the car delivered. Most of the scenarios, how will somebody will buy a car is that they just walk into the showroom, they pick some model, they ask for the features of that car, they ask for the price, they ask for the advantages, they ask for the breakup of these features, and then they will take the delivery time and everything. At the end, they will ask the manager of that particular car showroom to give a quotation about all these things on a paper. So, and then they will go back to their home, they will inquire with their colleagues or neighbors or friends or family members. And then if they think that it is a good combination for them to go ahead with that option, then they will go back to the showroom and then they will make the payment and get the car delivered along with the invoice. This is how it happens in terms of a costlier items or something like which is a valuable thing for the purchase. In this quotation kind of thing, or in this example that I quoted, the quotation or the breakup of all these features, prices, advantages, whatever the car showroom guy that he is putting on a paper and giving you, that is called the concept of pro forma invoice. If you see, as per the definition I have already told you, pro forma invoice is something that is being made before the movement of goods or before the movement of funds or before the movement of documents. So here in this car showroom example that I told you, if you see why it is being treated as a pro forma invoice is that the moment of means movement of goods, when I say the delivery of the car or the payment movement or the document pertaining to the car movement is not happening across the counter at the same time. So that is why the quotation that is being shared by the car showroom guy to you is called as pro forma invoice. So since in the import and export related transaction, as I told you, the movement of goods and movement of documents and movement of funds, these three things will never take place across the counter. Because what is the reason for that? Because these three things cannot be simultaneously exchanged between two parties across the counter, as the importer and exporter is residing in two different countries. So that's why most of the times in a foreign trade transaction, either it could be an import or it could be an export, there will be a concept of pro forma invoice and commercial invoice. But when you ask me about the content difference between these two documents, there is no difference at all, apart from the title of this invoice. The pro forma invoice title is different and commercial invoice title is different. But when you speak about the content of these two invoices, it is same. There is no difference at all. That is one thing. So that is about the commercial documents. Then we will go to the next type of document, that is regulatory documents. When I am speaking about regulatory documents, as you are aware that there are regulating bodies in India in terms of Government of India control, where there will be a regulating authority for everything that you do in India, departmental wise. Say suppose, for example, we as a banker, we have a regulator called RBI, Reserve Bank of India, who will be regulating and monitoring and taking the control of everything from bank to bank operations and everything, service point of view for the customers or for the promoters of the bank or the shareholders of the bank and larger level. So who will be the regulator for the banks in India is RBI. In the same way, there is a body, authority called as DGFT, which stands for Directorate General of Foreign Trade. This is a regulating body who will be authorized to take the control of or monitor of imports and exports in India. So in India, the import and export transactions in terms of physical movement of goods and everything will be under the control of DGFT, which stands for Directorate General of Foreign Trade. So when I'm speaking about a regulatory document, this is one of the certificate or a document that is being issued by such concerned or respective regulatory guidelines, that is called DGFT or local customs. So when we are speaking about import related transaction, the certificate issued by the DGFT or regulatory body is called as bill of entry. I will repeat that point once again. Bill of entry. Bill of entry stands for bill for entry, which means that the name itself will tell you very clearly it is a bill for entry. It means that some goods are entering into India from outside the country of India. So that is why it's called as bill for entry or bill of entry. So this bill of entry is a proof of import. Got that point, right? When somebody is importing or a company is importing some goods into India, the customs will verify that goods and give you a certificate called as bill of entry. Okay, it is a proof of import, that you have really imported so and so goods into India from so and so party and so and so country. That will be clearly mentioned on this certificate. Okay, this is called bill of entry. If you just vice versa, you apply for the same into a shipping bill, that is export bill, that is called shipping bill. Shipping bill is called goods are being shipped out of India. It means goods are moving from India to any other country than India. Okay, so that is called shipping bill. So you can call bill of entry is a proof of import and shipping bill is a proof of export. And both these certificates are being issued by the government of India body called as DGF. Okay. So that is about regulatory document. Then we will go to the next document, that is transport document. Before we will discuss about the transport documents, let me tell you very clearly that there are 4 modes of transport where you can choose for your import and export related transactions. Either you can import and you can export your goods via ship, that is waterways, or you can choose the mode of transport for import and export in your airlines, that is called airway bill. And also you can choose your import and export, that means you may transfer your goods either through train or ship or lorry. You can also choose the mode of transport as lorry. Okay, also you can import and export your goods through train as well, right? Most of the times train and the lorry is being chosen by importer and exporter when the countries are being very neighbor. It's like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, such countries, Nepal, Bhutan. These countries we don't prefer to go for the airline or we don't prefer to go for the ship. Most of the times these import and exports are being carried out as a mode of transport on the lorry, that is rail or road. Okay. So there are 4 modes of transport, that is waterways, that is airlines, that is lorry, that is through road. I mean, when I'm saying about lorry, it is through road. Okay. And either you can also choose as a train, rail. Okay. So transport document, when I'm speaking about a transport document, there are 4 different types of documents. And what kind of document will be used by the importer and exporter for the transaction is purely and solely depending on the mode of the transport these parties are choosing. Say, suppose, for example, if you choose the mode of transport of import and export is through waterways, that is through ship, then it is called bill of lading. Okay. Bill of lading is a transport document that is in terms of the waterways transport. Okay. So if you choose your import and export via airlines, then that is called airway bill. That is called AWB, airway bill. Okay. If you choose the mode of transport as lorry, then it is called lorry receipt. If you choose as a train, then it is called train receipt. Okay. Bill of lading is for the waterway, that is through ship. Airway bill is for the airlines. Lorry receipt is for the lorry transport. Train receipt, that is, or a rail receipt is for the train transport. Okay. So based on the mode of the transport that the importer and exporter is choosing, any of these 4 documents will come into the picture of this documentation. Okay. That is about the transport document. Then we will go for the insurance document. There is not much about it to discuss in terms of insurance document. Most of you might have insurance certificate in terms of your 2-wheeler and 4-wheeler. Insurance certificate is generally being issued by an insurance company. So when the goods are in transit, you obviously can make a note of it that there is a most risk involved in that transport of these goods from one country to other country. Hence, it is mandated that either the importer will have to cover the risk of these goods in terms of the insurance, or the exporter has to bear it, either the importer or exporter, based on the negotiating commercial terms between these 2 parties. So insurance certificate is nothing but it is a certificate that is being issued by the insurance company as per the commercial terms chosen by the importer and exporter. Okay. Then the 5th type of document in terms of a foreign trade transaction is the financial document. When I'm speaking about financial document, there is one type of document called as bill of exchange. Okay, bill of exchange. Normally in an import and export plain transaction, there is no concept of financial document, that is bill of exchange. But when the transaction is little complicated, when I say complicated, it might be a meaning impressive that the importer does not believe the exporter and the exporter does not believe the importer. In such scenarios, what is going to happen is that the importer will rely on the importing bank, means his own bank, and the exporter will trust or rely on his own bank, that is exporter's bank. Means both the importers and exporter do not have the trust established between among themselves. So that's why they wanted to involve both the bankers into the transaction of import and export. Under such circumstances, if you see, once the exporter exports the goods, then he has to submit these documents to the exporting bank, and then again exporting bank has to send these documents to importing bank, and then importing bank will hand over these original documents to the importer. So if you see in this entire complicated little bit of transaction, what is happening is that exporter is submitting the original set of export documents to the exporting bank, then from the exporting bank to importing bank, and then from the importing bank to the importer finally, right? So if you can see this entire example, what I told you is that the strong point here I would like to communicate to everybody is that the original documents are being transported from one party to other party, and it are being exchanged from one hands to other hands. So to specify at any point of time in the intermediary transit of these goods or documents, who is the owner of the goods or who is the ultimate title owner of these documents, that bill of exchange is a financial document that will specify who is the actual owner of these goods or owner of these documents. So that is the purpose of this bill of exchange. Okay. So these are the 5 different types of documents in terms of a foreign trade transaction. Okay. We'll go to the next topic, that is payment methods in trade. Can somebody confirm whether I am too slow or too fast, or is it okay for you to understand?
Okay.
Perfect, sir.
It's okay, sir. Perfect.
Up to or being able to follow, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try to maintain the same scenario. If you have any technical banking term that jargon I am using, you just make a note of you to, or you just post it in the chat box, so that by the end of the session, I will try to address that particular specific term or point. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Next topic that we are going to start is the payment methods in a foreign trade transaction. So there are basically 4 payment methods in a foreign trade transaction. One is advance payment. The second one is open account or direct payment. The third is the bills for collection. And the fourth is a letter of credit. You name any import and export related transaction, when it comes about making a payment to the exporter or receiving a payment at the end of the importer, any import and export related transaction of movement of funds or making a payment has to fall under these 4 categories. There is no any alternate for means apart from these 4 payment methods, there is no any alternate method where the importer or exporter exchange the funds movement. Okay. So we will discuss about each payment method in a very clear, very specific and simplified manner for better understanding of everybody. Okay. We will start with the first payment method in a foreign trade transaction, that is called advance payment method. Okay. The name itself will tell you very clearly what does it mean. It is an advance payment. What do you mean by an advance payment? Advance payment means the buyer has to make the payment as an advance to the seller first. That is the first point that will happen in the advance payment. That's why it is called as an advance payment. Anyhow, we will go through the flow of the diagram, how an advance payment will happen between 2 parties of import and export or buyer and seller. In this pictorial representation, if you see, there are 4 parties involved in this transaction. One, buyer and buyer's bank. The second is the seller and seller's bank. There are total 4 parties: buyer, seller, and buyer's bank and seller's bank. Okay. If you see in this entire flow of the diagram, the first point, if you can make a note of it or observe it, is that the buyer is instructing the buyer's bank to make the payment. Let me show you here. The buyer is instructing, as per point number 1, the buyer is instructing the buyer's bank to make the payment to the seller. Okay. Why the first point itself is making about a payment is because it is an advance payment. As I told you in the definition that under advance payment method, the buyer has to make the payment to the seller. Then only the movement of goods or movement of documents will take place in the transaction. So that's why it is called as an advance payment method. Okay. The buyer will instruct the buyer's bank to make the payment. Then the buyer bank will make the payment to the seller bank. Then the seller bank will confirm or acknowledge to the seller that they have received the funds. Clear? Then after the seller has received the confirmation about the receipt of the funds from his own bank, that is seller's bank, then the seller will ship the goods to the buyer. And once the seller ships the goods, all the original set of documents like invoice, packing list, and shipping bill, bill of lading, transport document, invoice, like I told you, different types of documents, like a financial document, or it can be a packing list, it can be a quality certificate, it can be a packing list, it can be an inspection certificate, it can be a shipping bill, or it can be a what else we left, insurance certificate, whatever the, you name any type of document. Once the seller ships the goods, all the original set of documents will be there with the seller. And then what the seller will do is that seller will send all these original set of documents to the buyer directly via courier. And once the buyer receives the original set of documents, he will submit all these documents at the local port or local customs or to DGFT, and then he will collect his goods. This is how the flow of the diagram in terms of an advance payment will take place. If you observe this entire process or flow of the transaction, you can make a clear note out of it that under advance payment method, there is 100% risk for the buyer and there is no risk at all for the seller, right? Because under advance payment method, the buyer is supposed to make the payment first. Then only the seller is going to ship the goods or send you the documents. It means that under advance payment method, there is 100% risk for the buyer and absolutely there is no risk at all for the seller, right? So what is that risk for the buyer? You can see in this right side table, that is, one is a non-delivery of goods and the second one is a short shipment or inferior quality. What does it mean is that once the buyer makes the payment to the seller, there is a risk that seller will never ship the goods. That is called non-delivery of goods. Okay, that is one risk. Second risk is that once the buyer makes the payment to the seller will ship the goods, but the goods that are being shipped or the goods that are being collected by the buyer are not in pair or not in competence with the quality and quantity terms, because by the time the buyer opens a container and collect the goods, it might be that I ordered 100 bottles, but my seller has sent me 90 bottles. And I ordered pink bottles in color, but they sent me white color bottles or red color bottles. So there might arise quantity issues and quality issues. Okay. But absolutely there is no risk at all for the seller, but the 100% risk is only there for the buyer. That is the motive of this advance payment method. Okay. So that is about the first payment method, that is advance payment method. We will go to the next payment method, that is open account or direct payment method. Here also, as we discussed under advance payment method, it is quite exactly opposite to the advance payment method. Under advance payment method, what we discussed is that the buyer is supposed to make the payment first, then only the seller is going to ship the goods or send you the documents. Under open account or direct payment method, what is going to happen is that the seller has to ship the goods and send the documents first, and the buyer will collect the goods, then the buyer will make the payment to the seller. It is quite exactly opposite to the advance payment method. Okay, just we will go through the flow of the diagram here as we explained under advance payment category. Here also there are four parties: buyer and buyer's bank and seller and seller's bank. Okay, Here, as we discussed about the theoretical definition of flow, the seller has to ship the goods first to the buyer. Then all the original set of documents will be there with the seller. He has to send as a original courier of these all documents to the buyer directly. Then the buyer will submit these original received documents at the local customs. Then he will collect the goods, and then the buyer will instruct the buyer's bank to make the payment. Then the buyer bank will make the payment to the seller's bank, and seller bank will confirm or acknowledge to the seller that they have received the funds. This is how the flow will be. As it is exactly opposite to the advance payment method, you can observe that 100% risk under open account or direct payment method is there only for the seller. There is absolutely no risk at all for the buyer. And what is that risk? That risk is under open account payment method or direct account payment method, after the seller ships the goods and sends the original courier of documents to the buyer, after collecting these goods, after submitting these documents at the local customs, he may default the payment to the seller or seller's bank. So that is the non-payment risk for the seller. Okay. But when we speak under direct payment or open account payment method, there is no risk at all for the buyer. There is only risk for the seller. Okay. So that is about the open account or direct payment method. Then we will go to the next payment method, that is bills for collection. So here also there are same four parties: buyer, buyer's bank, seller, and seller's bank. Here what is happening is that if you see the first step here, the seller is shipping the goods to the buyer directly, and then once the seller ships the goods, the original set of documents will be there with the seller. And under direct payment and advance payment, you can observe that after shipment, the seller is sending these original documents to the buyer directly via courier. But under bills for collection as a payment method, the seller, after shipping the goods to the buyer, these original set of documents, instead of sending as a courier directly to the buyer, he is submitting these original set of documents to the seller's bank, his own bank. Okay. Then when he is submitting, when the seller is submitting this original set of shipping documents to the seller's bank, means his own bank, he will instruct the seller bank what is the payment term. Okay. Just keep this payment method, that is bills for collection, aside for a minute. We will discuss about the payment terms. Right side, you can see there are three boxes. In the middle box, you have the payment terms. Okay. In any foreign trade transaction, there are two payment terms. One is a site, the second is a usance payment. Okay. Site payment is also called as DP, that is documents against payment. Usance payment is also called as documents against acceptance. Okay. Site payment and usance payment. So DP and DA. Site payment means it is like your prepaid bill. Prepaid bill, you know, na? If you make a recharge to your network or service provider of your telecom services, then they are going to give you service. If you don't recharge, you will not get any service from the telecom service provider. That is your prepaid bill. So site payment is like your prepaid bill. Okay. Usance payment is like your postpaid telephone bill. Postpaid telephone bill, you are aware, na? What does it mean? You utilize the services for the entire month, and at the end of the month, you will get a bill and you need to make the due payment on 45th day or on 30th day, whatever the day that they are going to give you as a cushion, okay, or a comfort, okay, credit. So this is about site payment and usance payment. So under bills for collection, after the seller ships the goods, all these original documents will come to the hands of the seller, and the seller will submit these original set of documents to his own bank, that is seller's bank, along with either of these payment terms. Either he will give you as a site payment or he will give you as a usance payment. Okay, he will mention it on the documents. Then after the seller bank receive these documents from the seller bank will send all these original courier of documents to the buyer's bank. Okay. Then after the buyer bank receive these documents from the seller's bank, they will open the courier, they will see what is the payment term. Whether these documents are being under site basis or under usance basis. Okay. If say suppose it is in site payment, then the buyer's bank will inform to the buyer that, sir, I have received the original documents pertaining to your import, and the payment term mentioned on these documents is site, which means that you need to arrange for the funds in your account so that I will debit your account and credit the foreign seller's account or seller's bank account. Then only I am going to release these documents to you. Otherwise, I don't release the documents. That is called site payment. Okay. If buyer makes the payment, then the buyer's bank will release these documents. Otherwise, they don't release the document. This is called site payment. Assume that it is not site payment, it is a usance payment of 30 days. As I told you, it is like a postpaid bill. The credit period allowed by the seller to the buyer, it can be 10 days, it can be 30 days, it can be 50 days, it can be 60, 80, 90, 180, up to 180, whatever the number of days. That is as per the agreement between the buyer and seller. There is no any restriction on that. But the credit period under usance cannot be more than 180 days. It has to be less than 180 days. It can be more than 180 days, but if there is any bill offered as a credit period more than 180 days by the seller to the buyer, then it has to be priorly approved by the central bank of that particular country. Okay. It should be a specific approval route that has to be taken place. Otherwise, any document of invoice that is being raised by the seller agreed by the buyer has to be credit period of less than 180 days only. Okay. It is mandate until unless there is an approval from the RBI. Okay. So assume that it is a 30 days credit period allowed by the seller. Then since these documents are being sent under the payment term of usance of 30 days credit period given by the seller to the buyer is not supposed to make the payment now itself. That's why it is called usance of 30 days. Okay. It means that the buyer can collect these documents today, and he may make the payment on the 30th due date. That is what it exactly means. Okay. So since it is being sent on the payment term basis of usance under 30 days, the buyer bank will inform to the buyer that, sir, I have received the documents pertaining to your import, and it is being sent on the payment term called usance of 30 days. It means that you don't need to make the payment to the seller right now. You just collect the documents, but you send me or you submit me an acceptance or confirmation letter that you are agreeing to make the payment on the due date. Okay. Then as per the instruction, the buyer will submit a confirmation or acceptance letter to the buyer's bank that he is agreeing to make the payment on the due date. That is on 30th day. Okay. Whatever the number of days. Just for example, I am quoting 30 days. You can take whatever the number of days that you wanted to take. Less than 180 days. Okay. So the buyer will give the confirmation letter to the buyer's bank. The buyer bank will file that confirmation or acceptance letter. Then on the basis of that, they will submit these original documents to the buyer, and the buyer will submit these original documents to the local customs, and he will collect his goods. This is how the bills per collection will work. Clear? So then if you see in this entire transaction, if the payment term is site, then there is no risk at all for the buyer and seller. But if the payment term is usance, then on 30th day, if the buyer defaults the payment, then buyer bank or seller's bank is not responsible to make the payment to the seller. Clear? I will repeat this point once again. On the due date, if the buyer denies to make the payment to the seller, then the buyer's bank or seller's bank is not responsible to make the payment to the seller, because under bills for collection, both the bank's job is as a courier agent only. They are not liable to make the payment, or they are not responsible to make the payment to the seller on the due date. If buyer makes the payment on the due date, then the buyer bank will make the payment to the seller or seller's bank. If buyer defaults the payment on the due date, then the buyer bank will convey the same to the seller or seller's bank that the buyer has defaulted the payment. As simple as that. But the banks are not liable to make the payment on the due date under bills for collection as the payment method. Okay. We'll go to the last payment method, that is letter of credit. Can you please acknowledge, are you there with me, or are you feeling very bored and sleepy?
Going good. Going good.
Yeah, fine.
Yes, sir. Everything good.
All
We're
okay.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the last payment method, that is letter of credit. Here the first 3 points, 3 lines is the definition of the letter of credit. I will read out, you just go through these 3 lines. Letter of credit is an arrangement whereby the issuing bank undertakes to pay a third party or beneficiary by a given date as per the agreed terms and conditions and against the presentation of credit complaints documents. So this is what the theoretical definition as per the UCPDC guidelines of International Chamber of Commerce. But I hope nobody has understood what this definition means. Okay. Even I also did not understand in my early ages of starting my career in imports and exports. So let me break up this definition in a very layman and simple terms and explain you very simple manner. What this definition of letter of credit as per UCPD guidelines is saying is that letter of credit is a guarantee. I repeat that point. Letter of credit or LC is a guarantee given by the LC issuing bank to the seller that the LC issuing bank will guarantee to make the payment on the due date, even if the buyer defaults the payment. I repeat once again this definition. LC is a guarantee given by the LC issuing bank to the seller that on the due date, the LC issuing bank is liable, responsible, and guaranteed to make the payment on the due date to the seller, even if buyer defaults the payment, subjected to a term that condition that seller fulfills his responsibility 100%. Okay, it means that if seller fulfills his own responsibilities as per the agreed terms and conditions as per the LC issuing bank is liable, responsible, and guaranteed to make the payment to the seller on the due date, even the buyer defaults the payment. I hope most of you understood what does this definition means.
Yes,
clear?
Yes, clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we will go to the next point that this letter of credit is governed by the UCPDC, and UCPDC stands for Unified Customs Practice for Documentary Collection of ICC, that is International Chamber of Commerce. And the latest version that every importer, every exporter, every importing bank, every exporting bank across the globe has to follow is UCP 600. UCP 600 is nothing but it is the latest version that we have to follow as per the International Chamber of Commerce guidelines. Why it is UCP 600? Simple, because it is the latest version, and earlier to UCP 600 there are different versions like UCP 400, UCP 500, UCP, UCP 181, UCP 222. Like that, there are many versions, but latest version of UCPDC that everyone has to follow across the globe is UCP 600. Clear? The next point, UCP says that letter of credit is the most secured mode of payment available. Okay. Then the third point is that it is irrevocable and protects the interest of both buyer and seller. Here, if you see in this particular line, I have highlighted the term called as irrevocable. Why? Because irrevocable means, in a normal English definition, what does irrevocable means is that something that is being given cannot be taken back. That is called irrevocable. It cannot be revoked back. It cannot be rolled back. That is called irrevocable. Okay. LC is irrevocable in nature. As per latest UCP 600 guidelines, any LC that is being issued, it is by default irrevocable in nature. When I am saying irrevocable in nature, it means that suppose an LC is being issued, if importer or exporter or importing bank or exporting bank or any intermediary party or any intermediary bank wanted to make any changes or amendment to that issued LC, all the parties who are involved in that particular LC has to approve and authenticate that amendment or change. I repeat that point. Suppose there are different parties in an LC. It is like importer should be there, exporter should be there, importing bank will be there, exporting bank will be there, intermediary party, if you put, it will also be there, and intermediary bank also will be there, like advising bank, the beneficiary bank, and the issuing bank, confirming bank, second advising bank. Like that, there are different parties based on the type of the LC. But irrevocable means that if an issuing bank has issued a letter of credit, any of these parties wanted to make any changes in that already issued LC, that change or amendment has to be accepted and it has to be approved by all these parties. Then only that can be changed or that can be amended. Otherwise, it cannot be done. So that is why it is called as irrevocable in nature. And as per the latest UCP 600 guidelines, all the LCs, whether they mention it is revocable or irrevocable, it does not matter. All LCs, as per the UCPDC of latest version UCP 600 says, all LCs are irrevocable in nature by default. Okay. So the last point is that it is also used as a financing instrument. Okay. Using an LC, a company can raise a loan. So that's why it is called as a financial instrument also. Okay. Using a letter of credit, a company can raise a loan. So that is called a financial instrument. Okay. So here is a pictorial representation of how a flow of the diagram will look like. Okay. You just try to recap whatever we have discussed. I'm just going on mute for 2 minutes. Let me have some water. So you just try to recap what we have discussed under advance payment, under direct payment, under bills for collection, and what types of documents are there in foreign trade transaction. Just give me a minute. I will just come back. Yeah, sorry for that. So I think screen has moved to the next slide. Okay, here we are. Just I will continue from here. So this is the flow of a letter of credit, how it will look like. Here also there are 4 parties: seller, seller's bank, buyer, and buyer's bank. Okay, clear? First, the buyer and seller will negotiate among themselves and they will sign a contract. That is called sales contract. It is just a term. It can be called whatever the way that you wanted to. It is like, it can be called a sales contract. It can be called as a purchase order. It can be called as a pro forma invoice. It can also be called as a commercial invoice. So as per your convenient term, the buyer and seller will negotiate among themselves. They will finalize some terms and conditions and they will frame this sales contract or invoice. Okay. Then the buyer will approach to the buyer's bank. First, the buyer and seller will negotiate and they will form the sales contract. Then the buyer will approach the buyer's bank to open a LC. Okay. Then, following the terms and conditions agreed by the buyer and seller in a sales contract, the buyer's bank will open the LC and send it to the seller's bank via SWIFT. Okay, SWIFT is nothing but it is an electronic format of exchanging the information between one bank to another bank. Okay, So initially buyer and seller will frame the invoice or sales contract. Buyer will approach the buyer's bank to open the LC. Then the buyer bank will open the LC and issue to the seller bank. Okay. Then after the seller bank receives this LC, the seller bank will go through the terms and conditions mentioned in the LC. Clear? And if say suppose for example, seller bank feel that the invoice terms and conditions that is being finalized between the negotiated between seller and buyer is not matching with the opened LC, then the seller bank will reject this LC. That is one point. Second point, if the issued LC by the buyer's bank to the seller's bank is not as per the UCP 600 guidelines, also they will reject this LC. Clear? If the seller bank feels that the LC that they got from the buyer's end or buyer's bank side is correct and in line with the invoice or sales contract terms and conditions and UCPC guidelines, then the seller bank will advise this LC to the seller. Clear? Then advising is nothing but, sir, I received the LC, I gone through the terms and conditions. It is very good. It is in line with our agreement. It is in line with UCP 600 guidelines. You can go ahead with the shipment. That means an advising. Okay. Advising of an LC means I have, being a banker, I gone through your LC and it is perfect. You can go ahead with the shipment. It means an advising. Okay. Then if the seller's bank feel that it is everything is in line as per the LC received, then the seller bank will advise this LC to seller, and based on that advisory copy, the seller will ship the goods. Once the seller ships the goods, all the original set of documents will come to the hands of the seller, right? Then along with that LC advisory copy and these documents of originals, he will submit these documents to the seller bank, to his own bank. Okay. And then what the seller bank will do is that seller bank will go through the submitted document by his own seller, and if every document that is being submitted is by the seller is in line, then it's okay. If some document is not as per the terms and conditions of the LC, then the seller bank will reject these documents and send it back to the seller. If they feel every document is in line with the LC terms and conditions, then the seller bank will send these original courier of documents to the buyer's bank. Then after the buyer's bank receive all these original courier of documents, they will open this courier of documents and go through these documents. If they feel the documents submitted by the foreign bank are not in line as per the LC terms and conditions, then they may reject these documents and send it back to the seller's bank. If they feel all the submitted documents are in line as per the LC terms and conditions, then they will intimate to the buyer that they have received the documents. And again here, as we discussed in the payment terms under bills for collection, the payment terms are common here also. Either it can be a side basis or it can be a nuisance basis. Suppose it is a side payment, then the buyer's bank will inform to the buyer, I received the documents pertaining to your import transaction. You please arrange for the amount in your account. I will debit your account and transfer this credit to the seller or seller's bank. Then I will submit you the original documents. That is side basis. Okay. Say suppose if it is a nuisance basis of 30 days, for example. Excuse me. So for example, it is a 30 days nuisance bill. Then what happens is that the buyer's bank will take a confirmation letter from the buyer that the buyer is agreeing to accept the payment or make the payment on the 30th due date. So filing that confirmation or acceptance letter from the buyer to make the payment on the due date, the buyer bank will release these original documents to the buyer, and buyer will submit these documents in turn at the local customs, and he will collect his goods delivered. Okay. Assume that on 30th day buyer defaults the payment. Then as per the terms and definitions of this LC, it says that on the 30th day, even the buyer defaults the payment to the seller, it is a responsibility of the buyer's bank to make the payment to seller or seller's bank. So that is what letter of credit is showing in terms of theoretical definition. Okay. So that is about these 4 different payment methods. So we will go to the next topic, that is forex.
Mr. Harish,
Yes, sir.
can I have a question, please?
Yeah, please.
I would just like to know, like, how Mr. Nirav Modi had bypassed his LOU
Yeah, that
on the same.
if time permits us, we will try to address it in the end of the session.
Sure, can you carry on?
Yeah. So I think it is already 10:30. So let me complete in 5 to 10 minutes. So forex hedging solution, I will tell you in a very simplified manner. Hedging means protecting the interest of the importer and exporter in terms of foreign currency fluctuation. Suppose I will give you an example. Today you are an exporter. You signed an invoice of contract 1000 USD today with your importer. And today when you are signing your invoice as an exporter of 1000 USD, today the dollar price is 75 rupees per dollar. And after that, next week, next month, as an exporter, you shipped the goods and they received the goods, and your importer has made the payment next week, next day, next year, whenever they are making to make the payment. By the time you receive that inward remittance from your importer against your export of shipment of goods, what if the dollar falls from 75 rupees per dollar to 72 rupees per dollar? Then there is a loss of 3 rupees per dollar into 1000 USD of invoice. Then it is a 30,000 rupees loss for the exporter. And reverse the scenario. Suppose you are an importer. Today you signed a contract of 1000 USD with you are an exporter. And then next week or next month or next year, when you are supposed to make actually payment against that import of goods, if the dollar goes from 75 rupees to 76 rupees or 78 rupees per dollar, then again also it is a loss for you. If you look into this and observe in this particular example that I quoted, the importer and exporter, there is a chance to end up their business into losses, not because of the mistake that is being happened in their company. It is because they are ending up with losses. There is a chance to end up for the importer and exporter into losses because of the external market factors of foreign currency fluctuation in the stock market. So to protect the interest and to eradicate that risk possibility for the importer and the exporter, the banker can give you a possibility of mitigation of that risk called as hedging solution. Hedging solution means that the banker, you can enter into a contract with your banker for your future receivables or your future payables. Future receivables means you are an exporter. Future payables means you are an importer. Okay. So you can today enter into a contract with your banker saying that so on so future date I am going to make an outward remittance. You block that 1000 USD today at today's comfortable price for you. Okay. So that now tomorrow when you are as an importer making the outward remittance, or tomorrow when you are exporter, when you are about to receive an inward remittance, irrespective of the foreign currency fluctuation in the stock market, it does not and it does not affect your business. You will get the same price when you entered at the particular price with your banker. Suppose you entered a contract of import or export, blocking of funds in your future payables or future receivables today at 75 rupees. Today whether the dollar is 76 does not matter for you or banker, and even if it is 70 rupees per dollar also, it does not matter for the banker as well as importer and exporter. Basically you will have the flexibility to protect the risk of the foreign currency fluctuation with this solution called hedging. So that is the concept of this hedging, right? We'll go to the next topic. So next topic is nothing but it is about ICICI Bank. So ICICI Bank is being rated and has been getting a rank of #1 bank in India, technically advanced bank who is offering the importers and exporters all the 100% digital services through their internet banking services. So that's why it is being chosen as the most preferred bank of all the importers and exporters in India. So actually, if you see what product of ICICI has made a lot of difference and convenience and comfort for the importers and exporters in the market, is that product or that facility is called a trade online portal. With this trade online portal, what happens is that you name any import and export related transaction that is digitally enabled on this particular platform, and an importer and exporter just can log on to their internet banking and they can initiate the transaction of whatever the type that they would like to do in terms of import and export. Be it an outward remittance, be it an inward remittance, be it an import bill regularization, be it an export bill regularization, be it an LC issuance or an LC negotiation or LC discounting, or it can be a bank guarantee issuance or bank guarantee revocation, whatever the name that you choose or type of the transaction that you name in terms of import and export. It is enabled digitally in the internet banking facility through trade online portal. So without this trade online portal earlier, most of the banks in India took some 24 hours to 48 hours to execute an import and export related transaction. But here with this trade online portal, what we have enabled is that any import and export related transaction can just happen within 2 hours to 4 hours. Maximum TAT is 4 hours, but normally it will happen within 30 days, 30 hours, 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Yeah, so that is the beauty of the trade online portal, because the time is not permitting me to elaborate on it, so I'm just concluding it here. So thank you very much for your patience to listen. On the screen you can see my email ID as well as my clarifications you require are in terms of import and export knowledge oriented things. You can take my assistance. I am free enough to support you in terms of everything. So that's it. This is the end of the session and it is open for the forum to discuss about any queries or clarifications if you require.
Hello. Hello, Harish.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Can you again give that practical example for that this side document against the payment?
Can you repeat? Pardon? I did not get you.
I want that practical approach for the side document against the payment terms.
Means practical approach means what do you mean by that?
Some practical, give live example, something so that
he wanted some example.
For what? Bills for collection or
side documents against the payment.
No. See, site is nothing. Let me clarify you. Site, as I told you in example, site payment is like nothing but is a prepaid bill. Say, suppose for example, site payment is nothing. Site payment is nothing but your COD basis. I think most of you will opt for e-commerce based purchase of a product on the basis of cash on delivery. What does it mean? You just place an order with Flipkart or Amazon on cash on delivery basis. Your order will be processed. The courier guy will come to your doorstep to deliver the product upon you make the payment, right? In the same way, after an exporter has made the shipment and submitted the documents for the bank for the collection on site payment basis, it means that the importing bank will only hand over these documents to the importer upon debiting his account and crediting the seller's account.
Okay, Harish.
Yeah.
Ajay here. Since you got a lot of clients and experience in this field, like usually what is the method followed by the exporters? Is it LC method, I believe? Or how's that?
It depends on the relationship between the importer and exporter.
Somebody has to mute their speaker. Lot of disturbance there.
Yeah. Muted.
Yeah. If I wanted to address your question, sir, as per my experience, what I understood is that it is purely on the basis of the relationship between an importer and exporter.
Okay.
There is no any classifications, because let me give you an example. Say if I say LC is the most secured mode of payment that protects the interest of both an importer and exporter, then one of your colleague may come for a clarification that says, suppose for example, the foreign exporting party is my own subsidiary company or sister company or a friend company or the same company with whom I have been business for last 20 years, then there is no concept of LC there.
Yeah. But more or less, like now I'm asking about the percentage. If it is like 60-70% works on LC, something like that, or how's?
One thing I did not mention in these 4 payment methods is that any hybrid is also allowed. It can be, say, suppose for example, your invoice is 100%, 30% advance, 70% direct, 30% as advance and 70% basis of bills for collection or LC.
Okay.
Any combination is okay as per agreed terms of importer and exporter.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Harish.
Yeah.
Regarding the future receivables, when you block it, can you exchange it at a certain rate or put it into Forex later on?
No. Can you repeat that, sir? What did you say?
Regarding future receivables.
Okay.
Let's say on euro, I block it on certain rate.
Okay.
Obviously, I can use it in future, but does ICICI provide us to to siphon it to Forex?
Hedging, Forex hedging is asking, I think.
Yeah, it is there. No? It is allowed. No?
So when we go to the bank, what should we say the term used?
You just need to simply say to that particular banker that, sir, on a so on so future date, I am going to receive so and so amount of inward remittances. I want to block that future receivables at this particular point. So book a forward contract for my future receivables. That is what you need to tell.
So that's blocking.
Yeah,
on a
that
certain
is
rate.
called, technically in banking terms, that is called forward contracts.
Okay.
Do banks charge for that?
Say suppose for example, you are comfortable at 76 rupees per dollar today. You all of a sudden you open the stock market and you saw the dollar rate is going up. As an exporter, it is in favor of, as an exporter, in terms of your favor. So you feel that I signed a contract at 75 rupees. Today the dollar rate is 76 rupees. So let us go and book the forward contract. They will charge the margin of 10 pies to 20 pies, like that. Means net to net, you will get 75.85 or 75.95, like that.
Sure.
And practically, Harish, if as a businessman, as an exporter, I have an account in some other bank, XYZ bank, and when I will be dealing with the whatever this export import financials, can I take these services with the ICICI or HDFC like as an independent transaction?
No.
Okay, we need to have a even business account also in the same bank, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because RBI does not permit, because RBI says very clearly that you can only have to give the services to any, not only importer and exporter, any bank account holder only is possible to get the services availed from their bank.
Okay.
Mr. Harish, one question. In letter of credit, it's like irrevocable, okay? So in case, like suppose without any intent, a supplier gives some material in which there is a QC rejection, let's say 10%, 15% or something. But once that buyer has issued a letter of credit, then how he will manage that amount which has against the material which is rejected in quality?
It is very simple. You just put a condition before you sign that invoice as an importer, that before the shipment of the goods.
So the buyer has to communicate to their side of the bank that this much has been QC rejected, and I have to, against the letter of credit, which is, let's suppose, sanctioned at 100 rupees, I just want to pay 80 rupees.
No, you cannot do that. It is illegal to do that. What you can do is that when you are negotiating with your seller, you negotiate in a way that before you ship the goods, an independent or a government agency has to inspect the quality of the goods or quantity of the goods and issue the quality certificate, which should be enclosed in the LC collection documents or documents that are being sent for the exporter or the importer.
Okay.
So that you can do.
Okay, I have one scenario.
Yes, sir.
There is a medical product from Malaysia.
Okay.
They say if this is given to a chicken, they will give more eggs. So the quantity was like 100 kgs. Then I asked them, okay, send me 10 kgs as a sample. If it works out, then I will pay the payment and also order for 190 kgs. But give me 30 days time to test the product. If it is really working or giving result, then only I pay. Then he asked me the check. Then I gave the check to his importer agent, and that didn't give any result after 30 days, but they deposited the check and have to face some consequences. Was there any way to come out of this kind of things when it is happening like this scenario?
When these goods, whatever the exporter has submitted you is on the trial basis, based on the result, either you need to make the payment or whatever the terms and conditions that is being agreed between both these parties, or it is clearly mentioned on the invoice?
It is mentioned on the agreement.
And it is mentioned on the agreement that whether these results are genuinely reported by you or not genuinely reported as per the comfort of you as an importer.
Yeah, it is mentioned that they are giving me as a trial. I am mentioning you send me as a trial, but he raised the bill when he sent the material.
No. What my question is that it is mentioned on the invoice that it is being sent on the trial basis, right?
Yeah, when I asked him,
But when you proceed, or the exporter proceeds legally or the importer proceeds legally, whether the invoice is saying that on trial basis it is mentioned, but trial means what? I made a trial, but I did not like that good.
Yeah. But
so that is not the matter here. What does it actually see? That is what I am telling you. When the importer and exporter is framing the negotiating the or framing the terms and condition of invoice, your 99% of the success depends on your invoice terms and conditions only. Right now, the invoice is speaking about only trial basis.
No, but the agreement, the purchase order which I gave was a trial basis, but the invoice was raised in a commercial direct invoice without it mentioning it.
Here, the problem is that when these goods are being sent on the basis of the trial as per the invoice agreement, even if you go for legally also, it will not withstand, because trial cannot be done by the importer. Trial has to be done by a third party independently. Being an importer, what I will tell, even the goods are in quality also, I may tell them that because the goods demand in the market has fallen down, I cannot withstand with the terms and conditions of that invoice. So I may claim tomorrow that I tested these goods, but I don't like the quality.
Okay.
It should not be like that.
Right, got it.
Mr. Harish, this is Chandrasekhar.
Yeah.
I had one friend of mine who has done on LC only.
Okay.
But the importer did not accept that. So it went on, and I think it has gone for damage charges and all that.
Yeah.
So how can we protect ourselves from this kind of situations?
Your friend is an importer, right?
No, he exported.
Okay.
The other guy, importer, did not accept that documents from the bank after sending this LC.
And these documents are being sent on LC basis or?
Yeah, LC basis only.
Okay.
But it was not accepted by, I mean, he didn't take the documents, importer. He did not take the goods. It was there and it went into that, what you call customs there.
No. There are actually different reasons for it, sir. I cannot answer this in a single line or a single minute. I will tell you just briefly that what does it mean is that as per the UCPDC guidelines, any documents that are being presented by a bank to the foreign bank, either they accept the documents or they reject the documents. It has to be reverted to the bank who is submitting these documents within 4 working days. It is mandate. They cannot keep the documents with them.
Mr. Chandrasekhar, I am going to give you the clarity tomorrow. We are getting ECGC. ECGC deals with all this. Even he can get the money in case if he has gone through ECGC.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, that's a different story. That's claiming some insurance kind, right, sir?
Yeah.
That is going to take a lot of time. It may take 2 months, 6 months or something.
Obviously. See,
obviously. And he will not get 100%.
See, insurance is always take minimum 3 to 6 months, but you are getting money, na?
Yeah,
no, you are not getting money.
No, what I'm trying to say here is, can we mitigate this challenge there and learn why that person did not accept, or what happens to those goods then?
No. That is what Chandrasekhar Garu, what I am telling you is that as per the UCPDC guidelines, when the transaction is backed by LC, the bank cannot accept or cannot deny the document just like that.
No, bank is not denied. The bank, from the bank, the importer did not take the documents and sign that, and he did not collect the goods.
In that case, what the foreign bank has to do is that foreign bank will wait for 4 working days. If the foreign importer is not accepting the documents, they have to send these documents back to the exporting bank, mentioning the reason. But this reason is not a valid reason, that my party is not accepting the documents because of their own personal issues. That is not a valid reason accepted by exporters bank.
Anyhow, how does the
probably why that person did not accept that? I don't remember all the story. Maybe the what do you call, the commodity price might have changed there in the local country.
This comes under the clause of non-acceptance by the buyer. That we have the solution tomorrow. We are going to discuss by the concerned official. Okay.
Thank you.
So this cannot be directly with the bank. It can go into the insurance.
Yeah, but how do the bank recovers money from? Okay, bank paid to the seller, but how do the bank recovers from the account?
That's a very good question that will answer all these doubts. The answer for that is that since as per the LC definition, the bank is always at the risk, right?
Yeah.
Even if the buyer defaults the payment or don't accept the documents with his laziness or it is personal issues of this company, if they do all this nonsense in the LC backed transaction, so the bank is at risk to make the payment on the due date. So that's why the bank, when somebody approaches the bank to open a LC, they will take 110% of FD of that LC value.
So issuing an LC means they need to have either credential or that much
they
of.
have to take 110% of FD. They will block the fixed deposit, lien market, and forcefully, and then upon that they will issue the LC. If something goes tomorrow wrong and bank is at risk, without any intimation, as per the UCPDC guidelines, the bank is supposed to close the fixed deposit forcefully, and until unless that forcefully they close the fixed deposit and make the payment to the foreign exporter, then only they will intimate to the seller. The buyer.
There is no risk.
Fine. This is fine. I have one more. Once we get the LC as an exporter, I got the LC. Can I take, even before the goods reach the other place, can I take some advances from my bank, buyer's bank, I mean seller's bank?
Yes.
Like bill discount and all that?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. How much is the account opening procedure, and what is the benefit of having fund in the account? Is it gives any benefit, or keep to maintain the low, and as the business develops, only that much fund is to be maintained?
See, actually, as per the RBI guidelines, any account that is to be opened has a mandate to maintain some balance. Even it is a saving balance or a saving account or a current account. Earlier, what happened is that if you can remember, before Jandan zero balance account, there is no concept of minimum account balance. If you go to a government bank, they're giving you zero balance account also. But now RBI itself has mandated that there is no concept of minimum balance.
Then how much is the import-export account?
It varies from bank to bank. It will vary. It will be between 10,000 to 5 lakhs. That is up to the company to choose which variant is suitable for them.
Okay.
Sir.
Yeah, please.
I have one doubt. Being an exporter on the basis of goods, when you will suggest me to prefer for bills for collection?
If you are an exporter?
If I'm an exporter, then on the basis of my goods, when you will suggest me to prefer for bills for collection? Can you give me an example?
No, that is what I told. Somebody has asked which is the good payment method. Actually, there is no concept of good payment method or bad payment method. It depends between the relation between you and the other party. Whether you wanted to go for advance payment or bills for collection or LC or direct payment, it is up to you.
Yeah, one last question from me again. If I want to do the next season business, which is after 3 months, and now the US dollar is very low. now without having any trade transaction, can I block the price?
Yes.
The fund? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, any other?
Mr. Harish.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay.
I have a question, small question.
Yeah.
So basically, doing business with ICICI Bank, what would be the difference between doing business with ICICI Bank or any other bank and then doing business with EXIM Bank? Because EXIM Bank has a speciality of export and export. So the services are, yeah, yes, Harishji. Yep. No, I have shared my question.
See, to answer this particular question, what my suggestion is that every bank have their own internal structure for servicing the set of customers. ICICI Bank, we have a specific structure that no other Indian bank is following is the moment when an importer and exporter opens an account with ICICI Bank, there will be a dedicated relationship manager for that specific account. It means that the role of this responsibility of the relationship manager is that they are highly qualified, they are well experienced guys who will take care of end-to-end responsibility in terms of guiding you, in terms of framing an invoice, or in terms of negotiating with your foreign party or with the foreign bank or your own bank, and these hedging solutions, how the stock market is fluctuating, or what type of documentation setup has to be followed for execution of an import and export related transaction, and what payment term is suggestible in a particular scenario. All these things, end to end responsibility, that professional guy will guide you with experience. So you can call it as that he is an accountant who will guide you in terms of end-to-end transparency or responsibility every transaction of import and export basis. The other banks, how they structure is that there is no any such responsible relationship managers who will be dedicatedly working for company specifically. So if you wanted to execute any import and export related transaction, that guy has to, or the promoter or the accountant has to approach to the nearest branch of that particular bank. They just wanted to go to that particular whomever is attending that desk or whomever is there in the reception. They have to go from desk to desk and keep on asking and submitting documents and getting that the transaction rejected and resubmitting the documents. A lot of this nonsense will you come across as an importer and exporter.
That's very good.
Got it. Thank you, Harishji.
Sir, for that matter, if you see the capability of a relationship manager, you can take me as a motive for that. Today I attended the session. You might have understood what is the level of capability to guide in terms of an import and export. So I am one of the relationship managers. Such like me, there are 2,800 RMs in the ICICI Bank. And when we are RMs, relationship managers for importer and exporters, there is no any other work for us. We are only there to meet the company promoters. We are only there to discuss about their future plannings. We are only there to guide them end to end pertaining to their transactions. That is what our responsibility is.
Very good.
Thank you, Harishji. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Like I asked a while back regarding the LOU and LC of PNB and Narendra Modi and why it was not handled by AML. Kindly elaborate on it.
Yeah, actually, you can call this.
That is a big story. So that will not let us.
So we would like to know your both points of view, or like maybe because because it's dealing with import and exports,
right?
And we like to know about it. Your point of view.
We'll do one thing, sir. I will just try to explain it in a single minute.
Brief.
As per LC definition, what I told you is that once an LC has been issued and seller or exporter fulfills his 100% responsibility, on the due date of the payment, it is the responsibility of the LC issuing bank to make the payment if the buyer defaults the payment. This is what the definition is saying as per UCP guidelines, right? So under letter of indemnity or a letter of credit or letter of understanding, all these are actually suitable, substitutable words. Letter of credit, letter of indemnity, letter of understanding, bank guarantee, foreign bank guarantee. These four terms are completely a different payment instruments offered by the banker to its importers and exporters or customers. But the guidelines for all these four are under the purview of the same constitution called as UCPDC 600, UCP 600. What this UCP 600 is said is that on the due date of the payment, if the buyer defaults the payment, the buyer bank or LC issuing bank or letter of indemnity or letter of understanding or bank guarantee issued bank is liable to make the payment on the due date, subjected to one condition, that exporter or the seller fulfills his 100% responsibility. Under this particular case, whatever you are speaking, what has happened is that letter of understanding or letter of indemnity has been gone through the PNB in favor to the foreign customer or foreign bank, and the seller has shipped the diamonds and jewelry items, and these guys has taken out that jewelry or gold related equipment. They utilized it for their own self of business purpose. They made a business out of it, and on the due date they denied to make the payment. And the foreign bank on the due date, since they did not receive the payment, they have sent a swift confirmation to the PNB saying that this is the due date to make the payment and we have not received the payment. So we are waiting for the payment. Please make the payment. Otherwise, we will go ahead legally with the central bank. So upon receipt of that swift confirmation from the foreign bank about the default of the payment, what the PNB has done is that the guy who has attended that SWIFT immediately passed on this message to the RBI that I got the SWIFT copy saying that the PNB, we as a bank has defaulted the payment and today is the due date of the payment. Then RBI has inquired about it and they inquired about the SWIFT, that whether the letter of understanding or letter of indemnity SWIFT is genuine or original. It is genuine, but 5 years back or 2 years back or 1 year back, the guy who has issued this letter of indemnity, what is happening is that we cannot call a single blame a single person also. Actually, as per the news report, what I heard or what I observed is that there is a team of personnel who has intentionally done that. The letter of indemnity has been issued originally as a bank through SWIFT only, but PNB has denied to RBI that this LC SWIFT has been sent via our portal without our knowledge. Means they are telling to the RBI that it is being hacked. But RBI has verified the genuinity of this and they said that no, whether the system is hacked or somebody has motively said it intentionally or unintentionally, it does not matter for me. As an RBI, my responsibility is to ensure that my reputation of the economy is to be not to be put at stake. I am giving you 24 hours of time. Either you make the payment to the foreign bank within 24 hours or I will sell off your entire bank and I will make the payment. This is what the communication clearly told by the RBI, and the PNB has made the payment within 24 hours.
My thing was like this, AML should issue an alert, no? But their LC was for a long period of time. You know, that should have been alerted a long while back, you know.
Correct. No. In these cases, what happens is that most of these transactions that are being dealt by these MNC companies or big cases are long term of this thing.
Sir, your views.
Sir, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please.
General perception in terms of LC, generally it falls under for high ticket invoices. Is my understanding right? Or that's question number one. Second of all, if at all we are approaching a bank for an LC, what are the minimal qualifications which an applicant should be aware of?
Actually, your voice is breaking. I did not understand your first question, but I will answer your second question.
Can I repeat the first question because
yeah, please.
it's slightly related? My first question is generally there is a perception that the LC is mostly for the high ticket invoices.
No,
Okay, high ticket
no, it is
transaction.
not
Is
like
the
that.
understanding right? No. Is what could be the minimal amount probably we can start
You
for
can
an or
start
apply
opening
for?
an LC from $1 away.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There is no any minimal cap and there is no any maximum cap for opening an LC or dealing with an LC. And to address your second question, there is no any requirement or a criteria whether the bank can open the LC on behalf of a particular importer and exporter, because whenever somebody approaches the bank to open an LC, we are taking any have collateral, na? Either it is in terms of property or it is in terms of fixed deposit.
So it is a clear collateral based and transaction based approval.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
It is only one thing that you just give me an invoice with agreed terms that it has to be opened an LC backed transaction. You just give me a security deposit of 110% collateral or 110% liquid cash in terms of FD. I will just open an LC. That's it.
Will they get any interest on that FD?
Thank you.
Yes, that is as until unless some default comes into the picture, it is as simple as your fixed deposit in a saving account.
Is it in a dollars or in rupees?
In INR only, equivalent to USD, we will convert into on that particular day price of USD and we will make it in INR.
Okay.
So that's why I'm telling it as an 110%, because today when I am calculating if dollar is today 75, it may go up to 76 or it may fall down to 70. That's why I'm taking a cushion of 110%.
So this EXIM account, export import account, is always in INR. Whenever transaction takes place, then at that day only it is converted into US.
Correct. On the day when you wanted to make an outward remittance as an importer, that particular day, the INR balance that is there in your account, I will calculate as per the USD rate and convert it into USD and we will sell it off.
Yeah. So we can keep the fixed deposit in advance also.
Correct.
Okay.
Harish, usually we presume that when we call, when we say invoices, we presume that it is about product detailings and rates.
Yeah.
Okay, but in this especially EXIM area, I think even our contract points also should be there in the invoices. Otherwise, it is not a valid this thing, no?
When you are speaking about an invoice, what the banker will look into is that who is the buyer, what is his company name, legal name I am saying.
Okay.
Somebody will just say, suppose I will just quote you a sample example. Suppose Amazon is a very big company, right?
Yeah.
If Amazon gives an invoice with the name Amazon, I don't accept, because Amazon is just a brand. It's not a name of the company. It is not a legal entity name.
Okay.
It should be like Amazon India Private Limited. That is the legal entity name.
Okay.
So when the banker is going and deeply thoroughing the invoice, it should be like who is the buyer legal, who is the buyer means what is his legal entity registered name,
okay.
his
Correct.
registered address as per the MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs or registered company name, and what is his PAN number, what is his import and export code. The same with the seller also. Seller legal entity name, registered address, PAN number, IAC code, date of the invoice, what is the payment term, means whether this payment has to be done as 100% advance or 100% direct, 30% advance, remaining direct payment against the delivery of the goods. So payment term should be clearly mentioned along with the HSN code of that particular product, quantity of the product, quality, color of the product, or any features of the product or parameters of the product, and what is the unit price and what is the overall invoice value, and when this payment has to be made mandatorily, like before 3 months, before 8 months, maximum payment has to be done before 3 months, like that. If there is any expiry date, that also should be explicitly mentioned, and the exporter bank details also, bank number, SWIFT code of the bank, bank branch name, and bank exact legal name. All these conditions should be there. Along with that, the buyer and the seller's first stamp, round seal, along with the signature.
Okay. Okay.
Is the price control anywhere in the advanced subjects, sir?
No.
Like 1,000 rupees worth product per ton or per kg. If the importer and exporters are friends, and can they undervalue it to 100 rupees or 200 rupees?
That is up to you.
Okay, but is there okay?
Banks do not deal. Say, suppose for example, I am importing a laptop, Apple laptop, which is costing me 2 lakh rupee. If the buyer and seller agrees and put that unit price of that Apple laptop as a 10,000 rupees, bank do not interfere in that.
Yeah, maybe our sir will explain tomorrow. Okay.
So one more thing regarding banks and helping us with so much of knowledge. Let's say it comparing to government schemes and related to RBI and banks. Let's say government says like, okay, you can get X amount to start a business without collateral, but at the end of the day, the banks don't lend out money.
Yes, sir.
So my basic thing is like, let's say a government has a scheme and they say, for startup, let's say X lakhs, you'll get without collateral. RBI also pushes it. Getting me? End of the day, none of the banks would lend that money without collateral.
Correct.
Most of the schemes. So I wanted to know. I understand like banks run as a business,
Correct.
but I like to know your point of view from your end also. What
Actually,
points
the
would you
problem,
evaluate? You know.
actually, to answer your question, sir, the problem that the bankers are facing in these recent days is that the credibility of different parties in the bank, those days are gone, where when a banker is lending to a party, you may,
And so I understand because of government schemes, there are a lot of defaulters. But do you all have like let's say LCML for the defaulters? But at the end of the
let
day,
me
you
ask
see
you a
those
simple question, sir.
but at the end of the day, you see, according to data, but
No.
those
Let me
defaulters
simply
are
ask
getting
you
the loan.
one question I will ask you, sir. In today's scenario, you are having a fixed deposit. You are having a deposit made with my bank, suppose today, of 10 lakh rupee. The same 10 lakh rupee I have lended to some other your colleague. That company has defaulted. Will you be okay if I do not make the payment against your deposit?
No.
Yeah, simple as that.
Yeah, but
That's why
understand.
banks are not that much eager and that much.
So my understanding is that, see, let's say government approves a loan for startup, let's say 1 lakh, getting me? RBI also
Okay.
says issue it to all the banks. But the thing is, RBI is a regulatory body, but it never enforces it to no level, you know. So they would just say like, okay, implement something by so and so date, getting me? But they would never fine you all, getting me?
Why they will find? No, sir, that is what I'm telling.
So
Government of India or so-called RBI will have only authority to guide the banks to fund for the startups. They cannot pass a resolution.
So let's say pass the resolution. Let's say according to internet security, getting me? If you all are not currently updated, they would just say implement so and so by this date, but they would never enforce it. They would never fine it. So in a way, you all get a leeway. So likewise, government schemes when it comes up, like sir said few days back, you go for import export outside, yeah, you'll get a reimbursement and all. Probably it won't be for everybody, it will be for a certain category and all. But you can understand me, no?
Sir, I want to chip in my 2 cents in this.
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
Hello. The problem that you're saying about the bankers not, giving out the credit that government is interested or has, ordered with the new schemes. The basic problem that we face, I am into banking and I have the experience around these things with the customers. It is not basically about the if we talk about on the on the counter things. It is not basically about the mistrust over a customer or the other things that somebody else has defaulted, so we won't be doing the work with some other party. The
So I just wanted to say one more thing.
sir, just let me complete.
One. So we have so much of state government schemes and central schemes that so many people have taken money out of it. There is a Mr.
See, 1 minute.
Hello.
Let us not the debate on the schemes and other things. Let us be the point, because already it is 11:15. We don't want to hold anyone.
Sure, sir. So the point was
stands closed because people are waiting.
Sir, I'll get back to the point.
If there are any,
Mr. Chandrasekhar, you can continue.
Say this is not the platform. We are not going to get any resolution for this, or we are not going to help us anything.
Correct.
Let us not deviate and waste our time. Because waiting.
So I don't want to debate. So my thing is, guys, sir. So may I?
Thank you very much, Harish, for your excellent session.
Yeah, thanks and good night to everyone.
If there is any issue, you can directly talk to Mr. Harish later on.
Okay.
He has already shared the numbers. Let us not make a discussion forum and make it 12:30.
Yes.
Okay. So now, if anybody want to stay back and ask anything, they can. But officially, now it is closed.
Just one question, a small question. It is like when we depositing in bank for fixed deposit, is it a flexi fixed deposit that we can change anytime? Same way when we take the loan against LC, is it a flexi LC that we can use it for 15 days, 1 month, 2 months, like that? If the bank.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. That's all. My last question.
Yeah, thanks everybody for your patience, and I think it was very late. I'm just taking a break. Good night, everybody.
Fantastic.
Thank you for your time.
Sorry, because the time is we exceeded the time, so
extraordinary time. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anything we can directly interact later on.
Yes, sir. Close. Thank you for today. Bye.
So one thing. So my understanding is like so.
I didn't know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you can spare me a few minutes.
Yeah, no problem. Because I don't want to help everyone.
I was holding up to an extent. So we have already 15. Like everybody has gone out.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for interfering.
Not a problem.
So my thing is like, so we have like government schemes, getting me? But at the end of the day, the approval lands up to the banks. Because at the end of the day, they approve it. Like to an extent I've seen like RBI sends a regulation, but they would say like comply within so and so date. But what happens is even if they don't comply, there's no like penalty, and most of the banks don't comply with the compliances. It's more of a governance kind of thing to your extent. So now what happens is like when we go for loan, when RBI says like no collateral required, banks would enforce you, no, sir. Like you have to push an enforcement. So I'd like to know like how you can help me to guide through it,
Tomorrow, our senior officer also coming from FIO. We will discuss.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is a little bit of a third party.
Okay.
In a sense, I can understand that.
We will discuss that. We will discuss on Monday.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much.
We keep this question for Monday. The officer name is Mr. Srinath. He will be joining us.
Mr. Srinath. Yes, sir.
Even otherwise also we can talk.
Yeah, thank you for directing me, because it's like because rules are enforced to some extent, like I said, like how it flows around. So thank you for directing me.